the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, to the Akia, to the brothers doing the work in sincerity and truth, to the hopeful elect, greetings and blessings with a Great Millstone branch of Las Vegas. We're out here again, another weekend prophesying the downfall and the end of this wicked kingdom and the man who rules it. Okay, we're gonna be going into prophecy like always. Try to get into prophecy, like we were talking about right now before we started camp. All this the racial tension that's getting stirred up out here in Babylon between Jacob and Esau, the tribes and our mortal enemy, you know. And like we were talking about, how there's just so much the media, how the media is being used to stir up the tension amongst the tribes and this so-called white men. Okay, and like we were saying, everybody's already doing bad economically. People are already angry, already on the edge. So the country's being divided more and more every day.
No, you go ahead. I got Luke 12 and verse 50. This is Yahweh Shah speaking. I started 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled?
Right, so before the Lord actually makes his appearance, the whole world's already going to be on fire, man. Okay? The whole world's already going to be on fire via warfare, okay? Racial wars, class wars, you name it, okay?
The world's going to be in a difficult, stressful place, man.
And I was watching the Elder Damashapad video earlier, and he was speaking on how, people, pretty much what we saying, people is already on edge, but when people don't know why they mad or why they are going through it, they try to look for a reason to blame.
Yeah.
And he was mostly talking about how, the hatred towards the prophets, but that also goes for how people are struggling, they live in check to check. It's just bad right now. And people don't know who to blame because they're not aware right now. So anything that happens, they be like, okay, I'm mad. I don't know why I'm mad, but this is happening right now. So let me aim my anger towards this. And that's part of that fire being kindled is that enmity that the Most High said was gonna be between the Jacob seed and Esau.
And that's Bible prophecy, man. The love of many is gonna wax cold, man. Ain't gonna be no love out here, all right, for your neighbor, even family members, okay? And that's we see that spirit is brewing here. It's that sentiment is growing every day here in Babylon, man. Okay.
Real quick, this is Matthew 24, since you just mentioned it. Verse 12, it says, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold."
Right, iniquity, man, sin upon sin, where wickedness is at an all-time high amongst our people, especially because our people are the main, we're the main, the people of the book, the people that were under the covenant, the contract, okay? The law, statutes, and commandments were given unto us. So therefore, our people are the ones that are knee-deep in iniquity, okay? But also this land, and this man that controls this place, he's the man of sin. The man of sin is in power right now. Okay, so his vibration is going out throughout the whole earth.
Precept 2 Ezra 5 verse 1. "Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith.
Oof.
But
Go ahead.
But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago."
So throughout time, throughout the period of time that since we fell off, right? Since the kingdom was divided, since the Romans, the Greeks, we know that through when the Greeks came into power, the evils multiplied on the earth. So since then, sin and iniquity has been increasing, and now it's getting to a point where, hey, the Heavenly Father is pretty much fed up. You know, so there's gonna be energy out here in the world, energy of evil, of pestilence, a war. Okay, and judgment. Okay, so people are gonna be dropping by large numbers very, very soon. Okay, and
if I may add, like it says in Proverbs, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases. And this man, he's been in a dominant position for a half a millennium now. So what do you think the vibration of the world is going to be? And now we at the tail end of his rule. So everything is going to be at its pinnacle. You know, so everybody is more violent than ever before. You know, the depravity is at an all-time high. Immorality is at an all-time high.
right.
And it's going to continue until it gets maxed out. When the Lord finally comes down and stamp on that wine press. You know,
Your brother read the iniquity since iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You just mentioned how who's in rulership? The devil. And everything that's going on, the way that people is acting amongst each other is a reflection of who's ruling. All of this, people are heartless, man. People are so selfish. It's just that's why things is getting worse, man. Because the way that these people is acting, the Lord is balancing things out, bringing these evils upon these people.
I got a precept. Revelation 11:18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, at the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyeth the earth.
So the earth is. We know that the earth, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, so what is he doing with it? What's the condition of the planet Earth right now? Like it says in Proverbs, right? Are the people rejoicing, or are the people mourning? Is the earth yielding good fruit, or is it a corrupt fruit?
It's waning because of the drilling for oil, deforestation, putting trash in space, putting trash in the ocean in the ocean, ocean in the ocean, oil in the ocean.
Right.
You know?
A lot of
everything.
a lot of the regions of the earth became war zones.
Yep.
What do you have in war zones? When there's constant war, there's constant destruction happening. It's constant pollution. You know, bombings, shootings, drone strikes. That's releasing all type of chemicals and all type of things into the air, into your air quality.
It's affecting the earth.
And it's affecting the ecosystem, the earth's balance. Yeah. It's throwing everything out of whack.
Mass dead bodies, spreading diseases.
Death everywhere.
Dead animals. If I could add also, something that's crazy. Was that Bill Gates that tried to do the bees?
Yeah. Mosquitoes.
New mosquitoes. They talk about killing off bees. They're just ruining the planet. Yeah, all the things that their agenda is trying to do, going to the NWO, is going to leave the people powerless and or like lifeless, if you will. It's gonna destroy the earth. The earth will be shriveled up, man, like a prune.
It's growing weaker through age, through time, growing weaker, losing its strength. Okay. You got something?
Yeah, you so-called white people, man. Esau, Edom. That's your biblical nationality. You're destroying the planet Earth.
Destroying the planet Earth.
All right.
So what's gonna happen to this man? All right, what's gonna happen to the man that was? Because basically he was left in charge, right? You took over. You said we are the people of the book. All right, we're the chosen. You control everything. You took power of all the resources. The earth is not even getting any rest under your rulership. Getting no rest. Okay, and we know that you're supposed to allow the land to get the rest, man.
Yep. The scripture's called land Sabbath.
Yep.
You know, you till part of the land for 6 years, and for the 7th year, you let that part of the land that you till for 6 years rest for 1 year. You know.
True.
I got a precept.
Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 1. A wise Ecclesiastes 10 and 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are the officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all that dwell therein.
Oh, you got to read that again, bro. You got to slow down a little bit.
This is Sirach 10 and 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and
Hey,
the
this man
government.
keeps you in the dark. Hey, the man that rules in the Western world, part of the world today, he keeps the people in dark because his agenda is against the people.
Exactly.
He's using the people, so he can always put some left hand witchcraft magic on the people. So he keeps the masses from uprising against him, from figuring out who's the wicked, who's the son of perdition, who's the Edomites of the earth, basically. You got it?
A prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people,
Hey, what is prudence? Somebody grab the word prudence. Prudence. I believe it means to look forward with something. Yeah, look toward the something. What's this get to be sure?
It basically means to be wise.
Yeah,
And this is
but wide to the future, I think.
Is prudent in the online Edom or prudence, right? And it says prudence, intelligence, discretion, foresight, practical wisdom to see what is suitable or profitable. Also, one of the four cardinal virtues, wisdom to see what is virtuous, foreseeing, practical judgment, knowledge, and science.
Yeah. So and also that foresee, so I can see what was to keep the earth. That's what the land Sabbath is about. To keep the land constantly producing. This man don't have any foresight. It's the same spirit that goes back to Eve, back in Genesis the 25th chapter. I need it now. I want to get all I can get now. I don't care what happens later.
Yeah, but he knows the answer.
Right.
He knows what's right.
Yeah.
He sees it, but he just can't do it.
Yeah.
You got to do the opposite.
So that is lifted up in him is not upright in him.
Yeah.
He knows right from wrong, but his nature won't allow him to do the right
nature
thing.
won't allow it,
And that's how the Lord made it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, a little more.
Yeah, it says to look ahead or to prepare, to supply or act with foresight.
Uh-huh. So and that's why this ruler, as any, what did Solomon ask for as king? He asked for wisdom, not for what they used to do, but so what he can rule his people going forward.
Righteousness.
Right.
He wasn't selfish like what he asked for.
See?
And in that scripture the brother reading, it said a wise judge will instruct his people. He will educate his people. It's only one way to instruct your people in order for your kingdom to flourish. That's the way of the scriptures. And we already read how it says how he casted the Most High's statues behind him. So everything that he's doing is according to his own will. He can't possibly be looking with foresight, because if you're blocking out the sun, are you actually thinking about how that's going to affect the earth?
Just because it affects you negatively, you know,
You can't
they're
stand
gonna ruin
the
it
sun.
for everybody.
Well, that goes into when they say in Jeremiah as well as in Isaiah, how basically their rulers are become like fools. They give unwise counsel. It says the prudence is perished out of Edom. So when they get together and they have these secret councils, who's giving them advice on what to do is actually not in the best interest of the people. But they thinking that because whatever it is, whatever counsel it is that they're giving these puppet rulers is really for the interests of the globalists. They're the ones to gain from these agendas. The people, they're not a part of it.
You would think they would.
The masses of the people, they're not a part of the overall agenda that they got in store. It's meant to be a utopia for the higher ups, but a dystopia for the rest of the world. That's what this is all about.
Exactly. And you would think they'd be like, well, we've got an endless resource using these people, right? If I keep them healthy and I keep them, but that's not how they think.
Yep.
They trying to depopulate.
Right.
They got what they feel like they got what they wanted out of it.
Exactly. They're looking to replace humans, their workforce, with AI. Okay, with robots. That's what they have in plan for the future. You know, they've hoarded all the resources, so now they don't need you. That's why you see less and less to go around.
That's why they call you useless eaters.
Exactly, man. Everybody's fighting for crumbs now, man. Everybody's just out here just surviving. Ain't nobody living, you know, except a few Edomites, a few Jake that took a bag. They think they gonna be good, you know. They think they're gonna be safe. But reality, man, what like the brother was saying, their utopia is actually it's hell for us. Okay, it's hell for us. That's the wicked plans that this man is conjuring up, and we're seeing the effects of it right now because he's working overtime. Okay, he's working overtime to keep you confused, to keep us pinned against each other. All right, and he don't even care about his own people. That's why we're saying a wise man, a prudent. What was it?
He's reading it again.
Yeah.
He's reading it.
Yeah. Go ahead and read it again, please.
It says, this is Sirach 10:1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
Exactly. So a wise judge will instruct his people, man. Are these leaders out here really being leaders, or are they just set up to deceive you? You know, because we know Trump. Yeah, he's a character. He thinks he's the main guy, the main character. But in the reality, there's a couple of dudes behind his handlers. He's doing their agenda. Okay, he's working for them. He's just the face of the corporation.
And if I can get a quick precept to back up what he's just reading, because it said that he would instruct his people, right? This is a Wisdom of Solomon 6:24. It says, the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. Receive therefore instruction through my words, and it shall do you good.
So I always thought of it like this: if the Most High created this whole, had it all figured out how this whole ecosystem of the planet Earth would run, and he wrote instructions in his book on how to make sure this runs right, why do people of the Earth ain't running it like that? It's like saying I bought this VCR. I don't know what I keep mine. But whatever's out there now, this computer, right? But I'm not gonna follow the instructions to how this should work. I'm a half-ass use it, not even using it to its full potential. You know? But that's how this man is thinking. He ain't thinking about how to properly run this thing.
I looked up the word welfare. It said, the state of doing well, especially in respect to good fortune, happiness, well-being, or prosperity.
Dang.
I got
the welfare that's really been generated for quite some time now is only going towards one group of people. They've been getting billions annually.
Right.
Billions.
You could probably say it's on the trillions now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they're passing new laws where if you don't want to do business with them or boycott, they can fine you up to $1 million or throw you in prison for up to 20 years. Yep. So now that's why a lot of Babylonians, a lot of Egyptians out here, a lot of Americans, man, they're finally now starting to realize that their government has been it's compromised. Their leaders are compromised. Okay, the people that sit in the power seat are not they're not the people making the decisions. They're always got a handler. Okay, and this for that we know who, the you know who. Okay, yeah, it's them. That's why the infrastructure here in America is crumbling. That's why you're living paycheck to paycheck. That's why the rent, the groceries, the gas, everything is going up, and you're not making any more money. Okay?
And while that's going on, like the brother mentioned earlier, they're using mainstream media to facilitate a heightened racial tension.
Yep.
To keep you fighting amongst each other and distracted, while they get to continue on making their moves behind the scenes, and you ain't even paying attention. That's all by design.
Yep.
They got the Diddy trial coming up tomorrow.
You got to see.
It's gonna be on national TV, man.
This is all to keep you distracted, man. Keep you looking the opposite direction.
That's how the illusionist works.
Come.
That's how magic works. You show somebody something over here, but the real magic or the real
Exactly.
thing is happening outside of your view, outside of your
Exactly.
existence.
And that's why the prophets are very essential. Because nothing's gonna pass the prophets, man. You know, the Lord's gonna have His watchmen sitting upon the walls to watch everything, and not keep hold their peace day nor night. All right. Otherwise, you just be in la la land. It's nothing but just circus, bread and circus entertainment, just every weekend.
Right. Every season, you got a major sport here in America comes to an end. Well, just in time for the new season for the other sport to start.
Yep.
They keep you. Hey man, this setup is the way they set it up. This dude is an evil genius, man. Okay, he studied us. He knows what we like. He knows what our lust, right? He knows what we want, man. It's just, this dude, I'll just, you know,
Diligent search.
yeah. This devil, he's very clever when it comes to his wickedness, man. His deception. This dude, he's had thousands of years since he was created to perfect his deceptions, man. But that shit don't work no more.
Man, he conned the whole world into believing he was a chosen people after being in caves eating from skulls and you know, not fucking civilized.
They had no language.
Had no language, brand. They were literally living like beasts. And all of a sudden,
They're the royal people.
they're the royal people, they're the royal families.
Big shots.
Children
They're the children of the Most High.
Big shots.
Yep.
They civilized the world, start technology. You know, they invented everything. They conned the whole entire planet.
Everything, they patented everything.
No, I'm being sarcastic. I'm being facetious. That's what they say. They believe they invented everything.
Right.
But they don't tell you that, no, it was actually Jake that came up with most of these inventions.
Right.
You just took the idea and you patted in them and you put your little twist on it. Put your name on it. You know? Yeah, man. But I know the brother had more.
We start Sirach 10:2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. And an wise king destroy his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the
So like, hey, the brother read how the multitude of the wise is the upkeeping of the world. He said the world,
Upholding of the world.
the upholding of the world. And if I can grab this, it goes right along with it. Cause read that verse again, bro. Bible son.
It says, and a wise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
Yeah. So all you got to do is look around and use the process of elimination. If you don't know if the people who's in rulership are considered wise or not, just look at what's that Kensington. Just look at that shit.
Yeah.
Look at Vegas. Look at how much homelessness it is. Look how you got food banks. You got people lining up every week
Whoa.
down the street just to get food. When there's an abundance of food in this damn kingdom. Go ahead.
Hey, speaking of this city, right, Sin City, we know that this city thrived based off of its attraction to tourism. A lot of tourists come here. It's one of the entertainment capitals of America. The tourism is damn near dying. It's damn near dead here. You go to the Strip nowadays, on days that you would think that it's popping, it ain't really popping like that. casino floors. I mean, there's people, certain people that's in there, they playing their little machines or whatever, but it is not the way it used to be. You look at the Vegas from a decade ago, 2 decades ago, completely different. People don't even feel the same. So people who want to come to Vegas now, you gotta, as soon as you come here, you're paying these high ass prices to stay in these run down ass hotels. You got bums asking for money. You got people tweaking, digging in trash, tweaking, walking up and down the Vegas Strip, or you go here downtown. You know.
Yep. And all these different cities is a reflection of America as a whole, man. That's why I said the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. Yep. This shit is this is a turd with fucking glitter on it, man. It looked good. It looked appealing, but when you actually dig into what it is, it's bad for you, man. I got this real quick.
And that's why it says in Nahum that he's gonna lift up the skirts and show all the nations your nakedness. He's gonna expose your shame. Right. That when you actually come here, this is really what you get versus what you see on TV.
Yep. Ain't nothing they do gonna like it. Go ahead. And nothing that they tell you or promise you that they're gonna do is not gonna fix what's currently going on. This shit gonna keep getting worse. This is Romans 8:19 in the AMP. For even the whole creation, all nature, waits eagerly for the children of the Most High to be revealed. For the creation.
Matter of fact, the brother's in that 10th chapter, right? Yeah, hold it, but until he finishes his precept and stuff. But everything on the earth is like, please, we suffering. This man gotta get out of rulership so we can live and thrive the way it's supposed to be. All the people, like you brother's been quoting earlier from Proverbs the 29th chapter. The people rejoice when the righteous are in authority, but they mourn with the rulers that are in position now, to roughly paraphrase it, right? And so they're waiting for the righteous people to rise up and be in their proper lot. Yeah, and rule this place the right way. You know, you got it.
If the brother read, I don't know if he read it or quoted it, but because if the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases. So if the wicked are multiplied right now, what about when the righteous and the wise are multiplied? What's going to increase in that day? What's going to flourish in that day? You got it, bro.
Righteousness, peace, prosperity,
Life.
good health. Look at marriage now. Look at the dynamic between man and woman.
Okay, yeah.
You know?
So, yeah, just keep reading. Yeah.
Everything is destroyed. It's in ruins.
Yep.
You know, that's why the earth is yearning for a new management.
Right. You go online and everybody's just complaining.
Yep.
Everybody's just complaining, man.
Yep.
People are done. People are already looking forward to checking out.
Yep.
Like, what? It ain't worth. It's not worth. They're saying basically, it's not worth being alive, man. Right now, fuck that. It's expensive. Not even just it's only expensive, but even if you have money, you still can't find peace. Okay, so people are already losing hope.
And it's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning.
It's the easy. We're just now. It's just now starting to get a little bumpy.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
That's the condition of the earth right now, man. Under the management that it's under. Okay, depression, wickedness. Okay, you murder, adultery, everything. All the bad things are at its peak.
Yeah,
They're peaking.
You know what they say? With pleasure comes pain. This man, he it's like his philosophy, his fashion of living is based off of pleasure, fulfillment of the flesh, and that's what he's taught the whole world. You know, high level sensuality, but all that overindulging has led to the effects that you're feeling now. All that sleeping around, now you're ridden with diseases everywhere. All that liberty that he gave the woman, now is
She's out of control.
She's out of control. You can't do nothing to fucking rehabilitate her. You know, this is what you've been doing: drug abuse, alcohol abuse. Now everybody's an alcoholic. Everybody's substance abuse. You have that fucking mayor in Cali say, "Hey man, give them as much fentanyl as they want.
Let them kill themselves.
Let them kill themselves."
You heard about that STD, flesh-eating disease?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brothers use your condoms, man.
Yeah.
This is what you're seeing, man. That heavy push of that alphabet acronym, the abominable acronym. What are you seeing? Domestic abuse, STDs, depopulation. And you wonder why Esau, he complained about the decline of his own population. But look at all of the devices that you pushed in the earth, especially aimed at these people. Planned Parenthood, feminism, the LGBTQ. You pushed all that on these people, and now your population is declining.
I got something.
That shows you the motherfucker is not wise. He never had the welfare of the people at heart, because that's not in his nature. He destroyed these people, man. No, y'all bring them all up. I was sitting on one too.
Yeah.
No, make your point. If you was
Well,
gonna,
just a quick one about movie 300, not 300, Gladiator, the first one, right? Where he said, "What about Commodus, your son? He's next to rule. He cannot rule. He's not a moral man. You need to rule." And so that's what's happening with the earth. He's going to destroy Rome or destroy the earth if he continues to rule. But he's setting up an agenda that he can rule forever. When you look at the king of what was the king thing? In the movie Gladiator, the real king.
Marcus Aurelius.
Aurelius, that's what Aurelius. So this guy Aurelius, he was like in a role of the Most High. And that's where we're at today, where the next rulers of the planet have to be chosen. And if it's not the righteous, the real children of Israel that have the proper moral, not the 2/3. Let's get this straight. Not just any old Negro, Latino, Native American, but the righteous ones that are really fighting for the way of the Most High, that's going to use his wisdom the right way. This place will be finished, man. The Most High has to intervene and let this happen. But he has to show everybody that this has happened, that this will happen if you don't rule with this book. I know y'all got
if you can finish that in Sirach 10, it's going to add to what you just said.
That's why I wanted to know.
This is Sirach 10:4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
Yep, exactly. You got more on there. More meat on that.
And so, like, and just to add to that, who's ultimately going to be the profitable one for the world? Yahushua. He's coming back. Hey, one of his titles is what? Prince of Peace.
Yeah.
Shiloh. You know, those titles that you read in Isaiah 9. He shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And he talks about there's going to be a government on his shoulder, man. And what does the word government mean? It's going to control ultimately to control the mind.
Yeah.
He's going to control the mind towards righteousness.
Yeah, right. A righteous vibration, man.
Come.
You know, everything.
Yeah.
This whole this image, right? The image of this man, the image of the beast is getting ready to be destroyed, man.
Yep.
All right. Everything as we know it right now, it's gonna get swept away, man. Burnt. All right. This way of life, the way things are done here, this shit is getting ready to perish.
Yes.
Oh, quick precept. There's a Wisdom of Solomon 6:4. Because being ministers of his kingdom, you have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places.
Right, that's a direct message to the elite. You know, the elite. Hey, it's gonna be a great and terrible judgment that's coming for these men. All right.
Say some names, bro.
We know the names. You know, the Rothschilds.
Yeah, man.
Okay, the Rockefellers. Yep, right. Them. Oppenheimers.
Gettys.
These families, man.
And there's even more.
Damn
more
inbreds.
families. There's a lot more families that are like secretive, like you don't even know their names.
The oligarchy, they
Yep.
use as a title. There's
Yeah.
another way to.
Yeah, they secretly control the food. All right, your water. There's this dude who owns the water. What the fuck?
That sounds crazy.
That's crazy.
Remember what happened earlier this year
Yeah.
in California?
Yeah,
During them fires?
yeah.
To land back over that too, the same family that own those reservoirs and that water in California, they also own ocean spray. They own palm, and it's funny because with the pomegranates, that whole season, if you bought pomegranates outside of the company Palm, they were all spoiled, you know. But if you bought palm pomegranates, they were the most fruitful ones, man. You know.
They also own almond.
Yeah.
They got a whole bunch of shit that they own, and they're using all their Central California land to produce it, like the richest land in Southern California.
Somebody might be like, oh, well, that don't really matter. They'll just kill a couple of companies. They don't understand. Just like Coca-Cola, they own lesser companies up under them.
The dude, that fucking demon who said water is not a it's not a right. It's not a human right. Now he's in charge of the WEF, right?
Yeah.
Or the World Economic Forum, WEF. There you go.
Yeah.
He's in charge of that.
What do you think he's gonna do with that?
Exactly.
Man, you think of the guy from the movie, I'm always in the movie, so I'm thinking of the guy from Total Recall first. He was like, oh, you're not gonna give me the guy that we're looking, the spy or the basically the fugitive? You're gonna cut your air off on Mars. But what do you think this guy gonna do when he ain't getting what he want? When he can't, I'm growing tired of y'all not taking this C-hip. My patience is running thin, but I got the balls and the ability to say fuck it and cut these people off and don't care. So I'm gonna cut y'all off from water. I'm gonna cut y'all off from electricity or whatever else. We're gonna watch how cruel this man is truly gonna be.
This motherfucker wants to control everything he didn't create.
Yeah.
You didn't create water, homie. You didn't create electricity. You didn't create the earth. All right? You didn't create the animals that inhabit the earth. You didn't create none of these things, man. But he feel entitled to where he gets to dictate who can have what. He can ration all the resources of the planet Earth. And how much this man he's a demon, man. On the highest level.
Yep.
Who are you to say water is not a human right? Our bodies are made up majority of water. You're made of the elements, that's water. Somebody get that in Sirach 39. It talks about the principal uses. The fucking nerve of the fucking nerve of this devil, man. This beast. The freaking nerve, man. You wonder why the earth has that out for you right now. The whole earth is about to have it out with you, man. You're over there in Jerusalem, them fires is fucking y'all up over there. That's part of the earth rising up against you. That's a signal the Lord is sending to you rat devils, man.
Bastards.
It's like a body project.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, bro.
It's Sirach 39 and 26. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 25, 24. It says, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
It should be easy. It should make sense. The bees do this. You studied all this shit. The bees do this. The bees pollinate that. This grows. It feeds these birds. You can watch the whole ecosystem working.
God.
Yeah.
Hey, for brothers that watched that Black Mirror episode, I think it was the first one. Hey, that lady in the classroom You know what she was going over was the regular bees, the natural bees versus the mechanical ones.
Yep.
That's what she was teaching the kids about. You know, showing you how they want to push that agenda so much. Yeah, the new season, the first episode. Right? Continuing, it says, for the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The principal things for the whole use of man's life.
And if I may ask, or it's like not add, there's another scripture that says that the all things are good for its uses, and he made nothing imperfect. You can find that real quick, and then you go back to that. I believe it's in Sirach 42, 43.
Yeah. Yep.
It's Sirach 42 and 23.
Right there. Yeah, this is Sirach 42 and 23. All things live and remain forever, for all uses, and they are all obedient.
Yep.
They have their purpose.
Yep. Everything in its natural order is perfect. It has it all has an intended use. If done in righteousness, in order, in the Lord's instruction. Esau, he goes the complete opposite way. And when you go the opposite way of the Lord's instruction, consequences ensues.
Right.
You're going to get it's automatic. You can't try to bypass it. You can't circumvent it. You can't try to dilute the problem. It's going to fester. Esau, he goes around just trying to put band-aids on every fuck up that he do, and it just triggers more effects that leads to more destruction, man.
My analogy was this: instead of putting windshield wiper fluid in the car to clean your windshields, but the motherfucker said, let's try gasoline or oil.
Yeah.
You put some weird shit, and because it makes the wiper slide better. No, you can't. The object was that the windshield is clean. Like he forgets the purpose. Oh, I don't know where to put this toxic waste. Let's just throw it in the ocean. There's plenty of space down there. It'll dilute it. What are you doing?
Yeah, you spoke earlier about the patent. Esau has the patent to run automobiles off water.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wood or some other resource, natural resource.
He has the patent. He knows.
You said everything has its own purpose. Yeah, everything has its own purpose, and everything that has a purpose, it all works in conjunction. And so when you throw something off, everything else is thrown off.
Exactly. If you read that next verse too.
God, this
No. Yeah. Read that next verse as well. You was reading.
Yeah,
Read that next
God,
verse.
this is Sirach 42 and 24. All things are double, one against another, and he hath made nothing imperfect. So like,
He made nothing imperfect.
he made nothing imperfect.
So there's a balance to everything. There's a balance to everything, man. You know, but when you try to go against the norm, you just wait and see the results. It's never good. You know? Nothing can continue on and carry when you go away from the established order. And that lets you know that man, he's a high level demon. He's the scriptures say, woe unto them that is strive with his maker. This is what Esau's been doing since he got into position. It's almost like as if, well, really, it actually is a temper tantrum against the Most High.
Yeah.
Because he got his birthright supplanted. He ain't been right since, man. He ain't been right since. He going through it, bro. And now he's getting ready to get his issue because the Lord he's about done with it, man. Go ahead and get your precept.
Isaiah 29:16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the things framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?
The Most High, that's heavy. If you really think about how heavy that goes, right? The Most High created this motherfucker to go off, to show the wrong way of how things should not be ran, right? You know. But this prideful ass guy thinks he controlling shit. You think, well, I'm gonna do it this way, this is the right way. This is the right way anyway. The fuck I created you too, fool, to do it the wrong way, so you can show the people how not to do it.
That's literally his purpose, bro. To show the world how not to be. That's deep.
But he look at it like it's right for him. Like, no, this is the right way. He's whole, and it's me that's doing it. Like, everything about him is contrary to the way of the Most High.
And you know who worse than that? 2/3 of our people.
Oh man,
Because we telling them this guy destroyed the planet Earth, and like, y'all, I still want to save Esau. I still want to save him. You know, you can't do no wrong in my eyes, but they attack
I like
us.
having cancer in my body. I don't want to cut it off.
Fucking idiots.
You know, that's how people look at it. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, that's our people, man. The majority of our people, man. I bring out all this shit, this track record of what this man does.
You guys got a pair of pliers so I can fix them?
No, man, we ain't got none.
Good.
Fucking people.
You know what? I did have some pliers too, but I wouldn't give them your story.
Chill, bro. Chill, lock. Chill, lock.
Anyway, man, 2/3 of our people, man. You know, 2/3 of our people are the most stupidest people on the planet, man. It said Jeremiah 4:22. You know, my people are Sodom's children. They have none understanding, man. You know? But Esau, he's just doing what he's created to do. Our people can't fucking have the intelligence to think, oh yeah, this man is the devil. Why should I want to save him? You know, but come up against the Israelites that's trying to teach them. You know? Whatever.
Real quick, I got that the verse the brother read in Sirach 42 and 24 in the GNT. It says, all things are in pairs, each the opposite of each other. But nothing the Lord made is incomplete. Yeah, and like it says, it's another precept, if brother can grab it as well, about how, because it says, yeah, but Esau, he doesn't seem to think so, man. Like the precept the brother just read. You know, how you gonna ask your creator and inquire of him why he did what he wanted to do? This is how he wanted to do it. This is why when it says woe unto him that striveth with his maker, he's constantly striving against the Most High. Oh, you ain't do that right. I don't like how you made that. Let me make it better. Oh, this ain't complete. You know, we don't need this. Let's just get rid of that. Like, come on, man. How bugged out do you got to be to think to block out the sun? Like everything on this earth needs the sunlight, man.
Yep. Moab too. Moab bugged out too.
It is.
Yeah, these heathens, they out their freaking head, man. Because you're the supporting cast, when all of a sudden you think you in director position. You gonna ruin you thinking you gonna ruin the movie, but you can't, because the script is already written. The Lord pretty much is teaching us a valuable lesson. That's what this experience all has been. A multi-millennial experience as a lesson to the sons of God,
Yep.
who fell away from the righteous way. This is why you fell. Look at them. This is how you were behaving. That's why the earth fell. Now we're in the process of being restored. Now you understand it. Now you feeling the pain, right? You feeling that I see y'all groaning down there. Y'all seeing it. You seeing the effects of this, right? This is why I told y'all from the beginning. Follow my instructions. Obey my voice. You know? It's crystal clear. It is crystal clear, man. Go ahead, Al.
I'm gonna jump up to 21 and read this really quick. It says, he hath garnished the excellent works of his wisdom, and he is from everlasting to everlasting. Unto him may nothing be added, neither can he be diminished, and he hath no need of any counselor.
Yeah, he don't need nobody to give him advice on what he made. When the Alahayim said it is good, it was after the blueprint of the Most High. It was perfectly executed in the earth. From the way you was created to the way that the world that you live in was created, all the food that you eat, everything. But you said, no, we gonna eat what's that shit, crawfish and lobster and crab and make it a delicacy. We gonna take away the bees and we gonna create our own, and we gonna put out mechanical mosquitoes. You can't even take care of the animals that's present, but you want to bring back the fucking woolly mammoth and what's that, wolves and fucking saber-toothed tigers and shit. Like you the unprofitable servant, man, or the unprofitable ruler.
Right, and he knows that the sons of God, you know, the lineage, the chosen lineage. If there's certain foods that they shouldn't touch, they shouldn't eat, because it throws off their vibration and it throws off their connection to the Most High. But what does he do? He sells us these abominable foods. All right, he makes sure there's always a shortage on eggs and shit like that, but there's never a shortage on fucking swine, right?
Right.
When do you ever hear a shortage on swine? Never. It's always there.
Cheap.
Cheap. It's very affordable.
All of the bottom feeder filtration, the animals that was created for the filtration of the earth, it's always in abundance of that, because it was supposed to be. It's supposed to be in abundance of these things to keep the earth clean, man.
It's back in Sirach 42, 23, 24 down. It says, all things live and remain forever for all uses, and they are all obedient. All things are double, one against another, and he hath made nothing unperfect. So like he made nothing unperfect. One thing established the good of another, and who shall be filled with beholding his glory? And there's a reason you have predators and prey throughout the earth, man. You know, and it's a reason why it's more prey than predators, man. You know, because those predators or those prey selected, they also benefit of what? Eating certain vegetation. That's why when he'll have a lake and he'll have an algae problem, and then what he'll do, instead of putting it with the natural species which controls the amount of algae, he'll put an invasive species in there, man. And now that invasive species is taking away the food for all the natural things in the water, man. So it's messing up the biome and the ecosystem for that particular area, right?
It can either depending on what's being done, it can either take away the production of what those particular creatures eat, and it can make it to where it's too much, and it can start to affect the other animals around here.
It's a counterbalance, man, or unbalance selection.
And thus, going back to the other scripture, it affects all these different things that is for the principal use of man. So you can go right back to
this.
That.
Back in Sirach 39 and 26, it says 25. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil, and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners are they turned into evil.
Exactly. He turned it for his own use and show you, because this man he's a niggard, so he'll use it for nefarious purposes. You know, I want to make sure that water is a privilege. And I'm gonna fuck up its quality, right? I'm gonna throw chemicals in it and then make you buy it in BPA plastic.
Right. And then complain that it's a recycling issue, or that it's what's the word? Basically an issue of contamination, man. Hey, because they say, oh, you need to recycle.
Yeah.
You know? But he causes the problem, man. Hey, well, if you didn't have this water in this certain vessel, hey, which is made from, the natural resources of the earth, if you just let it be how it was, hey, you wouldn't have issues of pollution. That's what that's the word I was thinking about. It's like,
right, because even like we were saying, this dude, he knows exactly what he's doing, man. He, like the brother said, he poisons the water to make you sick. So therefore, you have to go to his institutions, to his medical his physicians, right? To
His doctors.
His doctors, yeah.
Because for a physician, they actually get rid of your disease.
Well, his
Doctors.
decisions are no value.
Yeah. Right.
Right? You have to go to them to get treated for the shit that he caused.
Gun.
Treated, not cured.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's just an ongoing cycle.
While he capitalized.
I think I had one that goes with that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15, and I'll start at verse 10. It says, his heart is made of ashes. No, it says, I'll start at 9. The last part of 9. It says, he takes great pride in the things he makes, but they are counterfeit.
Huh.
His heart, this is the G&T. His heart is made of ashes. His hope is cheaper than dirt. His life is not worth as much as his clay. And this is talking about the idol makers. But this man is what does he do? He's the idol, the ultimate idol maker. It says, because he never came to know the God who shaped him, who breathed into him an active soul and a living spirit. He thinks of human life as just a game, a market where he can make a profit.
Oof.
He believes that he must make money however he can, even by evil ways.
Hey,
You know?
There's not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. He will set his own soul to sell. Now he got all the money that you can ever have. He has all the desires that a man can ever want. But him wanting to be on that God level, that's what makes him much more wicked, because he's not satisfied.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's not enough to have all the money in the world and have a yacht with 300 rooms in it. No, it's not enough. This man wants blood.
He wants your soul.
He wants your soul.
He wants to download your spirit onto a fucking feed.
This dude is the real life Shane Sung, man. From Mortal Kombat. He wants to take your soul.
He wants to have everybody's soul and mind fucking put away in a digital file cabinet. That's basically where he wants it. He wants everybody's mind, your spirit, your soul. He wants that shit uploaded to a digital file cabinet where he can have your whole life file in a compartment.
The information just came out that he wanted 2 brain transplants, man. That's never been
Y'all saw that
done.
Neuralink, the latest Neuralink update? Somebody else getting a brain chip.
They got the ability back to walk.
Yeah.
And then there was another one, I believe. Was it to speak? I think it was to speak. One was to speak, and I think one was to walk. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Isaiah 24. Nobody read that, right? It's Isaiah 24, verse 4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The hardy people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
And that's why everything is suffering. Everything is suffering, man. I did a lesson earlier this past week, because you had this people were engaging and entertaining this talking point about who would win if you took 100 modern men up against a gorilla. If 100 men fought a gorilla, who would win? Would the gorilla win, or would the 100 men win?
All barehanded, right?
Barehanded. We know for sure a gorilla, he gonna smash through probably hundreds. But see, the thing is, And it ties into what we're talking about. Man is not what they used to be. Our stature, our strength, everything is different. The quality of the world right now is at its lowest form. So that's why man is not at his maximum. All right? And that's due to what? Who contributed to these conditions? The man that's in power.
That's not even
Little like you literally got to take vitamins and supplement for because they took it out of the food. You can't even get it from the food, and that's why you wonder why everybody's dragging. People got low energy. Even these athletes, they got to get on performance enhancements to look like they're so good. It wasn't like that in the ancient world. We read about how our forefathers, they were slaying lions. They was fighting thousands of men, slaying thousands of men at a time. Bring one of those men back from that time and let him face a gorilla or a lion. You wouldn't, that conversation you're having now that would be irrelevant.
To land back as well, the animals were stronger back then. You know, so a lion back in King David's day, hey, the lion today look like a house cat, man. Compared to
he's domesticated in comparison.
Man.
tiger running from a damn.
Yeah. I think it was a bird.
A bird?
Yeah.
A tiger running from a duck. From a duck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying gorilla running from that duck.
Bro.
Come on, man.
Duck spread it out, spread the wings, and start running.
And even with the supplements we do take, it's like we're not even getting the fullness from what we do with the supplements because our body's not used to it. So we can only take so much of it. You can mess around and shock your body taking too much, good stuff.
Good.
And a bunch of it is synthetic too.
Yeah.
This I got free. Well, you got one real quick, bro?
Yeah.
I got an account.
This is second Esdras 14 and 17. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein.
The world is waxing older, so thus the conditions is getting worse. Because the management, they're not and when you think about it also, the earth has been controlled by the heathen longer than Jake have. When you add up all the empires of the world, we read about the times that Solomon and King David ruled, and some of the righteous kings ruled. How many years is that in comparison to when the Babylonians ruled, the Medo-Persians ruled? Well, really, and I'll say this though, there's no record that the Babylonians or the Medo-Persians, their rule led to the deterioration of the earth up until the freaking Edomites started ruling. That's when things started to change in the earth. And even to further prove that, when you read, what's that, second Esdras, I believe it's the end of the 11th chapter. It's going into the ancient Roman Empire, but look what it says concerning that empire and what it caused in the earth. Second Esdras 11. Huh? What is it? Like around the 30. Yeah, start at the 38th verse.
Second Esdras 11 and 38. Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts?
Who was that fourth beast? The Roman Empire. That's that. And who ruled the Roman Empire? The Edomites. Go ahead. Because if y'all not aware, you got that he's not a prophet, but he came on that Nate's platform and he debated Bishop Nate, and he was actually questioning Nate about who the so-called white man is, and he was teaching that the so-called white man is Japhet. Ron Dalton, the man who made that documentary From Hebrews to Negroes. when Kyrie Irving got in trouble because he endorsed that documentary or whatever. That dude, he believes that these devils are Japhet because they dwell and rule from the land of Japhet. But we know that the original people of Japhet, they were far removed from that land. You know?
Yeah, the Japhetic people are the Aborigines, you know, Samoans, Tongans.
In modern day, right?
Yeah, modern day.
You go into the history, you have the Minoans and the Etruscans. You even look at their art, that the men were depicted with dark hue. They were dark brown, and then they would have the females painted white because it would make the distinction, so you would know the difference between the male and the female. So they were people of color, obviously. Okay, but no, this is going into the history of the four beasts that would rule, which represents the Roman Empire.
And the original Romans were the Japhetic people. See, Esau, he take over, you know, a nation, and he takes their heritage and
Exactly.
he puts it on himself, and he go teach other people, yeah, I'm the people, you know, and call them other nations by another name, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what he does.
Prime example, the 90% of them rats over there, they identify as Ashkenazi.
Yeah.
Ashkenazi goes back to Japhet. But you saying that you're Shem, you're Shemite.
Right.
So what? Yeah, that's confusion in itself, because that you can't be a Japhetic Shemite. So that's just an example right there. That devil does not want to identify with who he actually is. If more of the world knew and was able to identify who he was according to the scriptures, they wouldn't give him as much leeway as they give him.
Professional con artists.
You know, he did a number on these people's minds, man. He conned these people quite well.
The nations.
But go back to that.
Back in 2 Measures 11 and 39. Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness.
Same thing that Daniel saw in his vision. Right? He was going to be diverse from the other beasts, and he would rule with a straight up iron fist. You know. Go ahead.
And over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
Yep.
For the earth hast thou not judged with truth. For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm.
Yep. He did all these things, man. And that's going back to then, during the Roman Empire. He brought the abomination of desolation, you know, the besieging of Jerusalem, you know, you sacrificing abominable animals in the altar in the temple.
And it's another one that says how they dealt treacherously with them that dwelt not treacherously with them.
Come.
Yep. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
Verse 43. Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty.
Yep. All these wars, he was fighting with everybody. You can't name me one rule of the Edomites where there was ever peace, where he got along with anybody and there wasn't any war. That's all he does is war.
That's all, man.
And like I said, I've made that a talking point earlier. Constant war leads to the damaging of the earth, the environment. There's too much blood being spilled, too much smoke going up, everything on fire, and you left with nothing but what they call that? Like when Hiroshima and Nagasaki got destroyed, the fallout. It's left with fallout.
Radiation.
Yeah, and that leads to birth defects. You inherit generational chronic illnesses.
Right. There's still people in Vietnam. There's kids still being born with defects because of Agent Orange.
Yep.
And all these chemicals they're bombing them with, man. But then you can sit up there before the world and say the use of chemical weapons is a crime against humanity.
Right.
But you're the one who's used them.
Yeah, on everybody.
And you make them.
Yep.
It says, the highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. And therefore appear no more thou eagle.
Appear no more thou eagle.
Nor
That's talking about Rome, just to clarify. You know, so because some Israelite camps interpret it as, oh, it says an eagle, so that's talking about America. That's not talking about America, but we know that America is the eagle 2.0.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. This is talking about the first beast, which is the fourth. Go ahead.
Nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads.
Yeah, those wicked Roman emperors.
Yeah, that's the feathers.
Those are the feathers, man.
Okay.
And they was even at war with each other, man. It was all kind of civil wars.
Okay.
It was all type of crazy shit going on. A lot of sexual immorality, of course, pederasty. You know, that whole Nambla spirit, that was in Rome.
Yeah, kind. Heavy.
It was polluted, it was perverted. Go ahead.
Nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her.
Here it is. This earth needs rest, man. It's filled with too much blood spilling, too much war. You know? Too much infirmity. This is why everything is suffering in its conditions. From the animals to the ecosystem to the people. And that's why we're going to have peace when the Prince of Peace returns. Because once Yahweh comes back and take all these nations down, it tells you that in Isaiah, war, there won't be any war anymore. We're going to get rid of your weapons. You're going to launch up all your nuclear arsenal. The Lord going to make you empty the clip on Babylon. That's what its intended use is for. That's the purpose. You know? All those arrows are ordained against this devil. That's when the earth is going to be refreshed. All right, so that those claws can no longer, you know, cause all the damage. You know, this place is known as the hammer of the earth. And turn whole cities into wildernesses.
Yep. Yeah, look at Syria, man. Damascus.
Syria.
That's
it's a ruinous heat.
Yeah, it's in ruin.
Iraq, Libya.
Yep.
Lebanon.
Lebanon
is supposed to be a beautiful place in Lebanon. They got the most beautiful palm trees, man.
And those places, the before and after photos.
Yeah.
Where it was fucking, it's just destruction, man.
Yep.
All of false claims. That's all, false pretext.
Yep.
To justify you going in there and overthrowing a leader.
All because put up a fucking bank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To put the people under captivity.
Because they don't
fucking paper fiat currency.
You don't want to play with me? Well, I'm just gonna destroy you.
Yeah. Ultimately.
Or right, you don't want to play by my rules? Well, I'm gonna overthrow you.
Yep.
It's a child, man. That dude is like a child. If you actually sit down and watch Trump, how he conducts himself, that dude is a child. Just very, very immature, man.
Precept. This is Isaiah 14:5. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing.
Man.
Yeah, the
Man. And that's not an exaggeration. Prophecy don't exaggerate. Prophecy never exaggerates. That's going to be a real thing when this devil goes down. The whole earth is going to go into to rejoicing. Even the landscape. Okay? Nature is going to rejoice when this devil, when it's going to feel like a big relief. You know? It's going to be a big relief. That the world can finally breathe again. And it hasn't, been able to for a long ass time.
It's being held hostage. Hostage, man. Being treated like a fucking prisoner of war. Worse. Okay? We see it, hey, we see the effects, man. The animals, even the animals, they'd rather die, man. They beaching themselves. They're checking out. It's like they know, hey, the Lord gonna bring us back. I'd rather go right now.
How bad is the world? Think about how if everybody quitting, how bad of a boss are you if everybody quitting? If you running the earth in the condition of the people on the earth, and everybody, the animals committing suicide, people committing suicide, how bad are you? And the effed up part of it, that's like what this man wants.
Oh, it gives him power. It powers him up.
Yep.
You know?
He loves killing. That's why he's the son of perdition.
Yep. That's what makes him feel good. They sleep not unless they cause some to fall.
Except they've done mischief.
That's crazy. Hey, that's in knowing that we know who created him. You know, we know Yahushua created this man, and he created the perfect devil, man. You know, so that itself, it lets us know that we are to fear Yahushua, man. You see, he controls these devils.
Hey, just to back up what you just said, this is Isaiah, real quick, and it's back to this brother what he had. This is the book of Isaiah 51 and verse Salakia. Isaiah 50. Yeah, here we go. Isaiah 51 and 13. I'll start at 12. It says, even I am he that comforteth you. Who art thou that thou shouldest be afraid of a man that shall die, and of the son of man which shall be made as grass? And forgettest the Lord thy maker, that hath stretched forth the heavens, and laid the foundations of the earth. And hast thou feared continually every day, because of the fury of the oppressor, as if he were ready to destroy?
Now let's be clear. Let's say this right. Because you take a guy like Elazar Barloy, see, hearing these messages that GFS taught me, somebody that didn't know, a street guy, I taking it to somewhere else. Just because we ain't scared of him don't mean we got to raise up arms against this guy. Okay? It's telling us why through prophecy. Don't mean you got to get all angry and go revolt against Esau and go marching down the streets with guns and shit. That's stupid. That's stupid. This is simply telling you that keep moving in the spirit. Be wise as serpent, harmless as a dove, and you ain't got to be afraid of this guy. Yeah. I control all of this. It's an in-game story of it. Now I want to put that because you see how every negative trait, he's coming back saying that we taught him something that led to to him thinking a wicked way. Yeah, him being a demon is the bottom line.
Yeah, so he's not a man of accountability.
Right.
He's still like a child.
Think like anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. It says, I'll read it over again. It says, and forgettest the Lord thy maker that have stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundations of the earth, and has fear continually every day because of the fury of the oppressor.
You notice Jake, 2/3 Jake, love to be afraid of Esau. But this man but if we do that, like standing here reading the Bible, like we've been doing this for years, but Jake's scared to come out because they're afraid if the police drive up. Like you think all these years we ain't seen that? Like we ain't seen what happened when the police show up?
Right.
The worst we've come across, some Jake went to jail, some brothers gone to jail. But they usually turn out all right if they were sincere. If not, guess what also happens? He just usually tell you to leave. If it's that bad, or no, we didn't say nothing to nobody, we're good. Okay? The Most High is in control of this, and this is where your faith has to be at.
Yeah. I mean, Paul even said, for he is not a terror unto to good works. Those who do good works, but to those that do evil.
He's there to punish. It said, is it the same chapter?
Yeah, Romans 13.
Yeah, he's there to punish the evil.
Yeah. It says, as if he were ready to destroy, and where is the fury of the oppressor? In other words, the Most High, he gonna turn his ass into grass. You know, and that's going back to Isaiah 14. You're gonna narrowly look upon this man like, damn, this is the man who put fear on everybody.
This weekend,
this guy, he shook up kingdoms. Where's the fury of the oppressor now? That's what the Lord is asking. Because the Most High is the one who controls, man. Just like he lifted up Pharaoh and put him in his position, the Lord raised him up so that the Lord can show his power. Esau is no different. He's no different, man.
Paul spoke.
Yep. Back to you.
It's, Isaiah 14:8. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee in the cedar of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us.
And we always get on this point. Deforestation.
Yep.
You know, cutting down the trees, which is the lungs of the earth.
Shit.
Speaking of, over there in the land of Israel,
Yep.
all those acres of land that's being burnt up is mainly the trees that's burning. Because the climate over there is hot and it's gusty. But when you cut down the trees that are native to the land, and then you planting trees from the other side of the Mediterranean, what do you think is going to happen? That's literally what they did. They got in the land, they declared their independence, they pushed all the Arabs out, and they started, they used what they call I think it's called the Jewish funding. I think it's, somebody look it up real quick. Because what they did was they used these little blue boxes, and they had people putting money into those boxes, but it was all being used to fund them rebuilding their settlements after they pushed the Palestinians out. I think it's called the Jewish funding. Let me real quick.
Jewish National Fund?
The Jewish National Fund. That was what it was called, the Jewish National Fund. All right, and they used it to fund the rebuilding of the settlement once they got into the land. And they started building, you know, the architecture over there that you see, but also a lot of those trees that they had to start planting over there. They planted pine trees. They were known as the Aleppo pine tree. Those are native to Europe. But we know that these devils, that when they came into the land, they came from out of Europe. So they wanted their newfound land to remind them and look like back at home.
Can't help it.
So they planted those trees all throughout that region. And to mind you,
Don't fit in that climate,
it don't fit in that climate. And those trees are flammable.
Yeah.
So now what we're seeing is a result of that. That shit is in flames over there.
They say those trees is flammable.
Yeah. It's flammable, man.
Especially if you don't do like with pine trees.
Yeah.
Those pine needles. If you don't, if those start covering the ground and they go brown, they dry up like that. Oh man, that's like kindling.
Mm-hmm.
It just catches. It's meant to catch.
Yeah.
So they're not as smart as they think they are.
They don't follow the instructions.
They're not wise to do evil,
Yep.
but to do good. I mean, you talk about our people, but that's what do you think they
Let
learn?
favor be shown to the wicked in the land of uprightness.
You know?
They will not learn righteousness, neither will they behold his majesty.
Yeah, I got something about that. Right?
Go ahead.
It says in 2006, the JNF, the National Fund, right, the English, right,
Yeah.
signed a 49-year lease agreement with the state of Israel, which gives control over 30,000 hectares. That's 300 kilometers squared, right? It says of land for the development of forest. The JNF has been criticized for planting non-native pine trees.
So what happened to the cedar trees and the olive trees? Those trees are native to that area.
They got the long.
But instead, they want to plant those trees because it reminds them from back where they came from.
The caucasus is mountains.
You know? Go ahead.
Yeah, it says
And you know who they blaming for this, right? They don't consider that is judgment coming from Hashem.
Right.
They don't even consider that. They're gonna blame nature on Hamas.
The new boogeyman.
Go ahead.
It says the JNF has been criticized for planting non-native pine trees which are unsuited to the climate rather than local species such as olive trees.
Come on, man. What is Psalms 50 and 16? Y'all already know.
Yeah.
You stay where you at, Bond. That information. Psalms 50 and 16.
Y'all hate us. It's Psalm chapter.
This is why the
50.
earth suffers. This is why.
Slacker, can I bring out the law real quick?
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 20 and 19, NLT. When you are attacking a town and the war drags on, you must not cut down the trees with your axes.
It's an instruction.
Yeah.
That's an instruction. The Lord said, don't do something, follow that instruction. He knows what's best. You know?
Nah, you tell me a so-called J over there in Israel didn't read this commandment right here. Yeah. But do not cut, it said, you may eat the fruit.
Well, it doesn't say in the Mishnah.
Right.
The Talmud.
Yeah. You may eat the fruit, but do not cut down the trees. Are the trees your enemies that you should attack them?
Attacking the tree. Damn. That's why when we read Brother read in Romans 8, even all the creation groaning, with the version of it, for the righteous to live, man. Attacking us, man. The people beating themselves because we being attacked.
Yeah, kind. To get those pine trees to that part of the land, where did you take them from, man? You know, what land did you just make destitute in order to bring those trees over there? Because it's not like they were just in the forest, you know. I mean, not like they were in the factories. So like,
they gotta implant. They gotta. You gotta import and transplant. You know, was natural to the earth.
Right.
The earth is cursed under you, devils, man.
Yep, this is Psalm 50, we'll start with 16. It says, but unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee.
That's what they.
We the children of God, but we don't like the Bible.
Right.
That don't even make sense. Torah. You got a whole nother book. They read the Torah, which that's where the law was at. But then you go to your other book that contradicts the Torah.
Yeah. That's why Paul referred to him as the man of sin, the man of lawlessness.
Hey, but that's why he also said, if I may, he said, I didn't know sin except by the law. So they learned the law to know how to.
And that's why they're held accountable.
Yeah.
You took the covenant in your mouth, even though you're not the people of the covenant.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be held accountable. You know. Hey, when them implants came into our land during the time of the Assyrian captivity, hey, the Most High still held their asses accountable when they came in the land. When they was over there sinning, the Lord, he sent some lions out. They started getting ripped up in the Holy Land. So a priest had to teach them how to keep the laws of the land. They're not keeping the laws over there. That's why it's a war zone over there. That's why it's blood being spilled over there. That's why it's wildfires over there. And then they don't even, another way you can tell that they don't care about the law. And even vocab try to use this to imply that the nations can make it or can be saved. There's a law where it talks about let a stranger be as one that is born in the land. And they try to say that that's talking about another nation can actually come and dwell in the land and have citizenship and be treated
You see how
with you know what I'm saying?
They cover all they
yeah.
In case we not the people, it's okay that we here. We still under the law.
He try to use that again towards us, but he don't apply that to them devils over there. Yep. They don't keep that law. They destroying they massacring them people over there. Straight up ethnic cleansing. They don't want no citizenship. If you ain't us, you get no citizenship. You know, if you're a Christian, we don't want you over here. They'll spit in your face, man, if you're a Christian. But Christians over here want to save them.
Yeah.
They literally, after the children spit also.
Yeah.
It's a literal thing.
Yeah.
It ain't figurative, brother saying. It's literal.
Yep.
You can Google that.
Yep. It says others say it's like the JNF has been criticized for planting non-native pine trees which are unsuited to the climate rather than local species such as olive trees. Others say that JNF deserves credit for this decision and the forest would not have survived otherwise, which it shouldn't be there.
Right.
It says according to the JNF statistics, 6 out of every 7 saplings planted in Jerusalem did not survive. Damn.
Because don't they have those trees have resin in them?
Yep.
Yeah. In that climate, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
It almost makes it fuels it like but even the resin I forgot, you watched it scrolling through TV or whatever, but that resin almost makes like a magnifying glass type effect when sunlight hits through it.
Yeah. Yep. And it's fuel itself.
Yeah, and then it literally catches the fire.
Yep.
I've seen a wilderness guy teach survival tricks. Use it for fuel of a fire.
Yeah.
So 60% of the trees planted didn't survive. It says although the survival rate for planting sites outside of Jerusalem is much higher, close to 95%. So the tree has a really 100% survival rate when it's planted in its correct environment.
Right.
You know?
2/3. The 3% outside. Half percent, but a third.
It says the Israeli newspaper wrote that workers remove saplings daily to allow more tourists to plant the following day. Damn. The Union for Environmental Defense has criticized the fund's forestry practices for over-reliance on highly flammable pine trees and overuse of toxic herbicides. Yep. It says some forests have been planted for security reasons as a means of demarcating Israeli space.
And this is supposed to be the month that they celebrate their independence. When they finally declared the state of Israel, this is happening on their so-called anniversary. That fire came and burnt down through those areas where it actually caused a derailment where people couldn't even travel from Jerusalem straight to Tel Aviv. If you trying to make it from Tel Aviv down to Jerusalem, you gonna run into that fire. If you was, or vice versa, you know. So, hey, the Lord is showing them signals, because the land is bearing the shame of the heathen right now. You ain't even supposed to be there. The trees over there is waiting on us, man. They can't wait for these devils. Hey, our land got a rodent problem. It got a rodent problem right now. It's infested. It's been infested for almost 100 years now. You know.
The missiles is the pesticide.
Yep.
Still reading, Bob?
Yeah. It says, this is further down, but it says the JNF's
You can
engagement
read that Isaiah 14 again after.
in developing Israel for rap purposes, I say, has involved a range of massive land infrastructure developments. In the 1980s, they launched a project known collectively as Operation Promised Land to meet the challenge of massive upsurge of immigration.
Yeah, so basically, to combat what Trump is doing now with immigration, they did that back then because they didn't like. But think about the immigrants over there seeing. If y'all can be here, we can be here.
Mm-hmm.
So they try, and America kind of models itself after that. This is for everybody or whatever. But now it's like, nah. And so that's what they was doing back then. Like, nah, man, y'all coming and taking over. Like, nah, we gonna keep y'all out of here. So they actually had an Operation Promised Land. This is our promised land.
Yeah.
But it wasn't promised to you. Was the problem.
And this is how I know that this was really judgment that that's happening. Because if this was like in a settlement where there was still Palestinians at,
right,
I would have been like, nah, they probably use fucking direct energy weapons or some shit. I wouldn't put it past them doing that. Clear out more land so they can get, stake it for themselves, and they can, start building upon it. The 15-minute infrastructure, technology, whatever. But no, this is within their own territory that all this fire is going on. The Most High wanted y'all to see that, experience that, man. Because the Lord is about ready to show his fiery indignation, man.
Yeah, as they're heating up with their fiery indignation on earth, Most High is heating up with his.
Yep.
And that's in our favor.
Yep.
Okay, that's in our favor. That was good, right? Y'all got Isaiah.
Yeah, 14, Isaiah 14. You had something too, Z?
I had Genesis 4:9. I'll read it after.
Right.
This is, I'm going to start back at 5. Isaiah 14:5. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth.
Yeah, because he been, a lot of his antics throughout history is led to, so much death, a lot of casualties, the stabilization of governments, destruction of whole economies. That's how he done, shook up the earth, man.
Curse the ground.
Read that last part again.
It says, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
With a continual stroke. Constantly, man. He's that hammer that's just been just destroying shit, man. There's a saying, if every problem is a nail,
If the only
If
tool you have
you
is a
got a
hammer.
hammer, every problem.
every
looks
problem
like
is
a nail.
every problem looks like a nail. That's his problem solving skills right there.
Hammer.
Use the hammer every time.
When we change it up, unplug this.
That's how he sees to solve his problems,
And then you take
or what he perceives as a problem. And he's done that all throughout the planet Earth, man. Everywhere he's at.
Say do it like that.
Go ahead.
It says, he who smote the people with wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet.
Yeah, when the Lord defeats this devil, now the world can finally rest from the oppression. The earth can finally rest from his constant exploitation. Well, he's just pillaging the earth, man. Just steady plundering, taking resources and hoarding it up, and then taking more resources and then hoarding it up, and then taking more resources and then hoarding it up. To where, like it says in James the 5th chapter, your riches is corrupted, cankered, is moth eaten, and you didn't hoard it up for yourself for the last days. And those are tabs and receipts on your own head that the Lord's going to come and visit you. Also, we can't forget, you still got the Lord's jewels in your hand right now. Like the scriptures say, none restoreth him. You know, Judah and Israel were oppressed together. They refused to let him go. The scripture say, he that stealeth a man, if he be found in your hand. So you're guilty as charged.
Because thou hast not hated blood.
Yep. Blood shall pursue thee. Yep. Go ahead.
It says, yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
Say that, read that again.
It says, yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come against us.
Man. So even the trees, man. Nobody's came to chop us down and to plant another different tree that's gonna suffer fires later. You know, taken away from the oxygen, the air filtering system. Because even nature gonna know that when the true people get in, everything's gonna be ruled right.
For all eternity.
For all of eternity, man. It's gonna be ruled right. The trees are gonna have its natural aroma and smell. You know? Everything's gonna be fruitful. So we're gonna have more saps and resins and you name it, man.
And in their proper use.
You know, we're not gonna be in our kingdom. We're not gonna be chopping down trees just so that we can build a freaking. This devil, he done built all kind of bullshit with just by chopping down these trees. I'm gonna chop these trees down because I need this area and space to build a damn warehouse.
Yeah.
You know?
I got something.
Go ahead.
Genesis 4:9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength.
And probably what it was, he thought he was going to come to the land of Israel and be able to be plenteous with the thing. This ain't working. We better bring the trees we know how to get stuff from. You know, you start thinking about how this devil works, man.
He's always been the same devil.
Yeah.
Like this account he reading with Cain. The Lord, he respect the offering of a animal sacrifice.
Yep.
He wants the aroma. He wants the smell, right? This devil said, "Nah,
I'm gonna keep that.
I'm gonna give him this fruit
basket."
I think a fruit is more a proper sacrifice."
But see, people try to distort like they didn't know. They knew.
They knew.
Everybody knew. He knew the right thing to do.
They knew.
Chose not to do it. Exactly.
A fugitive and a vagabond.
This nigga had that vegan, the vegan activist. He was on that tip, man.
The Most High.
We gotta save the animals from the Most High. We're gonna rebel. Let's everybody get your latest fruit, your best. You know, give us your best cluster of pomegranate. You know? Yeah, man. He was disobedient, showing you his traits back then.
He's trying to send the Most High. He said, trying to send the Most High edible arrangement.
Oh man.
You know, with the fruit basket, you know, cut up looking like flowers. Man, you don't want that, man. Where the meat? Hey, you come to a Jake barbecue. Come to a barbecue and it be no meat. It's straight fruit. Jake gonna tear shit up, man. I done sent you all this money for this barbecue. Ain't no burgers, no nothing. Oh, hell no. Fucking oranges and fucking mango. I don't want that shit. You know how Jake is.
Fruit salads all over the bench table.
Man, this shit out
Jake would be pissed off.
Fruit salad and yeah.
So I accepted that, man. I didn't say that.
It said, a fugitive and a vagabond that shalt thou be in the earth.
Yep.
He wanted me to jump to Genesis, the 3rd chapter, about the curse on the serpent. Genesis 3:14. It said, and the Lord Yahweh shall said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above the cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Confusion.
And he's been playing that confusion now, thinking good is evil and evil is good.
Yep.
Yeah. So the serpent, Cain, Esau, they're all the same spirit.
Yeah, the serpent was the one who helped to get Eve to open up that Pandora's box, which led to the corruption of the sons of God, in which they fell.
Yeah, the serpent.
You read Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, that last verse. It talks about how the devil, through the envy of the devil, came death. You know, because the Lord created the sons of God to be the image of His eternity.
I read it.
Yep.
Yeah, because the serpent, you had 3 classifications: the sons of God, sons of men, which are the heathen, and sons of the wicked, which is the serpent. You know, the serpentine people.
Yep.
You know, which plays Esau today. You know, they're the race of the serpents. You know? But back then they had pigmentation. It was brown skin. You know, so he was jealous of the sons of God, and that's why he used the woman Eve to bring us down. Man. You know?
This is Wisdom of Solomon 2, and I started 21. It says, such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness had blinded them. As for the mysteries of the Most High, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness. hey, you get for doing the right things. There's a reward for doing the right thing. Okay, what's about we're doing now? We know there's a wage for this. We're doing the right thing. Okay, this man he thinks his wages for doing wickedness. Right. It says, nor discern a reward for blameless souls. For the Most High created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Yeah. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his son.
Man. Yeah, because ultimately you follow his ways, and, you know, the patterns of his doings is going to end in ruin.
You have to follow the devil.
You know?
Lust of him, what he do?
He doesn't really bring no solutions to the earth. He just causes more friction, more problems.
He is the problem. He's the problem child.
That's exactly what he is.
Well, he was created for that problem. And I keep bringing that up, not to go against what brother's saying, just so you understand. If he was created for that, he ain't ever going to, don't think he's going to turn the other cheek and be something that he's not. He's always going to be the devil he really is, the adversary.
Yep. Let me read that same verse in the Good News translation. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 23. In a GNT, it says, when the Most High created us, he did not intend for us to die. He made us like himself. It was the devil's jealousy that brought death into the world. And those who belong to the devil are the ones who will die. And 2/3 of you belong to him. Because you are of your father, the devil, man. Or else you would actually, you would denounce him like we are. You come to the realization, oh, this man, he's definitely the reason for the effects in which we suffering in his life. He's the reason why the earth is in this condition. You know? You would completely despise and hate every pattern of way that he leaves behind in the earth, man.
Shit, Eve too. You know, Eve take a lot of that blame, man.
Yep.
Eve, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American woman, man.
Yep.
You know, so that's why you have no power up here, man. You know, you shouldn't be teaching the scriptures. You know, because you the first one that fucking was in transgression.
Exactly.
You know, so you should shut the fuck up. You know, learn to be ashamed of that.
Okay.
You know,
it's a reason why she's been that serpent's ride or die this whole time. You know, because she's been there to really prolong that dynamic for him and uphold that. She's been that vessel, and you wonder why you getting this backlash from the men right now.
Men are reasonable. Men is like, we doing something wrong, let's do something different. And they're trying to find every little angle that they doing now. That don't mean they're gonna completely turn. But some of these early signs, like dealing with terrible women, hey, they're like, hey, we're gonna leave y'all alone. Yep. So let's see if this works. Okay, we're gonna start working out. Let's see if this works. Or we're gonna start seeing men trying to go their own way, is what the whole movement and shit is called, right?
Yep.
I can't stop about thinking about the nigger woman in the car. Talked about it. Said Abraham was a Hindu. Yeah. Abraham sacrificed cows, man. Hindus, they fucking worship cows. So what the fuck are you talking about? See, that's why the nigger woman, man, you can't, man, bro. They don't know. Up, they just talking. You know.
Not to go deep, but in that occasion, the third chapter, he was out of order. He was out of order. He was given instruction on how to be in order, and he was out of order. And you're still out of order. That serpent gave you the license to continue to be out of order, which is what you wanted. And this is what look at the world now.
Look at your people.
It's your people.
You raised these last few generations.
Yeah.
Yep.
You despise what you was guardian over, what you raised. Yeah. But see, you was in tangent with the enemy, with the serpent. You help him design that experiment. The Tyrone, they clone Tyrones. You was instrumental in that experimentation, because he used you. He put them ideas in your head, said you didn't need your head, and that was all he really needed. That's how he was able to get access straight directly to the children and train them up. Did all these experimentations, man. Your educational system, your influencers, your compromised fake leaders. That's what he was able to do. You know, one of the classic examples, and we always see this clip. Brothers always put it up every now and then. That episode on freaking Good Times, man.
Yep.
That's the prime example of that.
Yep. Even with all the facts right there, he read the scripture himself. She still reverted back to her own.
The white Jesus.
Yeah.
To her own indoctrination.
Yep. Yep.
And that's true. You got something.
Just to show that, you know, the female is, the Eve is our enemy, you know. Micah 7:10. If she's not in, you know, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her. Which said unto me, where is the Lord thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her, now she be trodden down the mire of the streets.
Trodden down as the mire of the streets. So basically, it's a cold war now. You know, the men not really fucking with the women. You know, they're not really going out dating and, you know, basically courting women anymore. You know, that's a cold war.
Yeah.
You know, wait. Micah 7:9 is talking about the actual war. It's actually men are gonna try to get that, you know, power back over women again.
Yeah.
You know?
I always see in these videos when you see these content creators, they talk about how a lot of these women they're starting to feel the bitterness of being lonely and not having a family and not being protected. And when you read the comments, you see a lot of men, they are actually on cold now. They're staying on cold. A lot of them saying, hey, hold the line, fellas, hold the line.
Right.
Let's make them feel this shit. You seeing that?
You saw that they teamed up on us.
Because especially the Jake men, they know that you been chose a side. Talking about you women. You been chose a side, and you didn't choose to stick with yours. You chose a side, man. So after everything that's been said and done, men are they now starting to, you know.
It brings you right back to what you was the example you was giving with Florida Evans. Good times. Well, this Jesus is the only Jesus I know.
That I know.
I don't know if I saw my mama or this Jesus first.
Yeah.
My God. But that was how he did it. But damn.
Right.
No, you good, bro. But it just makes you think about it like. But he just read the scripture though.
Yeah.
Yep.
He literally read it, and you agreed that. Well, that's just what it say. But I don't know if I'm a damn still.
Yep.
But that's how y'all are though. Y'all gonna revolt more and more. You're not gonna come back to what you should do. And now when the power get heavy, you're gonna want to, but you ain't gonna know how to. That's why you sisters that do tune in, you at a high advantage right now. Of all women on the earth, you got the highest advantage. Hold the line.
Your best bet right now is to be loud, vocally loud, to denounce this overall dynamic of white supremacy and feminism. You got to make it crystal clear that you're not with this.
And your actions are going to speak louder than those same words.
Exactly. Because men, you can't just talk to, like, you could talk to a woman and she'll believe you. Men, you can't talk to men. Men, you got to show. We're action oriented. We got to see that you you willing to make that change. But we don't see it. We don't care about the videos you're making. It got to be shown.
Yeah, Beyonce,
just like, hey, we have to show the Most High.
Yeah.
We can't just confess with our lips.
I was gonna quote that.
Being hypocritical. But they show much love with their lips, but their heart is far from me. No, what we're out here doing is showing. It's an action. Let love be done in deed and in truth.
That's excellent.
And not in just word. We don't like. You even got certain women they are coming out and trying to denounce the feminist aspect, but their actions really is not coinciding with what they're saying. Sometimes they'll even still speak in a condescending way towards the men. You just gotta pick up on it.
Words they choose to use, little blues in there.
Like she still think that she would be able to still reserve some kind of authority.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
If she can negotiate and come back to the table, she still will want to, for a certain aspect of it.
Right, you can get it.
She's gonna still want to maintain some level of authority that the serpent gives her.
She want to make a deal and shit.
That's out. The men, they're not going for that shit no more. That's out, man. You bought into the serpent, and this is your, this is your problem now. And you Edomite men that's on the manosphere tip. Hey, your founding fathers created this. Your nation is responsible because you're the serpent any damn way. You created your own problem. Right? And also I'm gonna make this clear too. We get on Eve for the most part because she's the head tribe. That's why she get the brunt end of the backlash. But don't think for certain that you women of you other tribes is off the hook. You right behind her.
You guys will do half-ass.
You northern, you Latina women, Hispanic women. We know about y'all too. Y'all better get in line and get in order as well. Eve, we know she's messed up. She's obsolete at this point. There's only a certain few of her that's gonna get in line. The rest of them, we already know. The rest of you tribes, y'all better get in line, man. Y'all gonna go out the same way. And get that damn gringo out your freaking heads. Get him out your head.
Give us that honor and respect.
Yeah.
And hold us accountable to be righteous, but not according to you. You know.
That's a lot. Hey, because we got northern brothers here. Hey, I'm pretty sure they could co-sign what I'm saying right now. Get your asses in line, man.
Northern Kingdom women can be demons too.
Straight up.
They're different kind of demons, but they demons nonetheless.
They're number one witches, bro. Yeah. I was gonna say, it's in the heritage. We think that because they
learn all that from the mom.
Yeah.
You learn all that from the mom.
Grandma, and the same thing we talk. Yeah.
You ain't exempt because you got long hair. You still got to fall in line too.
Yeah.
I got precept.
Yeah, you got
1 Timothy 2:11. Let the women learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve.
Can I make a quick? Yeah, that's a good point. I want to make this point. So we're always calling to the men, stand up, gird up yourself like show yourselves men. Okay, give a woman something to follow you for, something to follow, something honorable to follow. Then if they choose not to, it's clear. Then you know who not to choose. It makes it a lot easier. But if you're dealing in the world and you worldly ways, and you're trying to decipher a good woman out of worldly ways, how are you supposed to get a good woman in a terrible world, in a wicked world? If you clean yourself up in a righteous way, what you think is going to push away? The wicked is going to push away. The wicked women ain't going to be attracted to you.
You are what you attract, right? The scriptures even tell you how a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. So if you ain't smoking weed, you ain't drinking heavily every damn night, you ain't into the nightlife every damn weekend, so you're not going to attract them type of women, man. It's women that's offended by burning incense. They don't like it. You burn sage around a demon ass woman, she gon', what the fuck is that? She gonna go the other way.
Yep. That all ties in.
But she's drawn to that weed smoke though. You smoking some bud and the smoke is in the air.
What's the difference, right, between incense?
Oh, wait, well, who that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And condescends through the spirit, our elders, man. And they said a lot of brothers' first, wives ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
That's just the truth, man.
Yeah.
You know?
They didn't like that change.
Yeah, but that loss really ain't a loss because we gotta fight regardless. So well, man. Yeah.
Esau created a problem, man. Hey, you seen this? It's basically news or whatever. This nigga woman, Jasmine Crockett. She talking shit against Donald Trump and shit. Yeah, I think she's like a Democrat or Republican or something like that. Not Republican, representative. You know. Hey.
She trying to incite something.
Yeah, man. Her and Trump going back and forth. Yeah, talking shit. Yeah, man. Say that's what you Edomites get, man. Okay, you took the leash off the pit bull, man.
Yeah.
Now the pit bull's going wild.
Sometimes pit bulls can turn on their masters.
That's it. That's what's happening.
Because animals are spiritual, especially pits. It's spiritual like that.
Yeah. That's what he created. He got that on his hands now.
Hey, that true Nero come out, he gonna send a hit out on that bitch.
Yeah.
1 Timothy 2:13, for Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in a transgression.
Yeah.
Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety.
That's a big if. That's a big if. You got to endure the suffering too.
Yeah.
You got to bear the burden. You got to serve your head just like we got to serve ours.
Right. You heard that saying, shit rolls downhill, man.
Yeah. A lot of these women, because they're accustomed to comfort, and that's what the serpent supplies them with, non-stop comfort.
Yeah, the cities.
And that's why they're so loyal to him. Once you come into this thing, that gets cut off. If you're not willing to compromise your own comfortability, then you're not going to be a good asset. As long as you pushing this man's agenda and you following after him, and he rewards you with these amenities and comfortabilities that he provides you with, you could be his asset. But until you're not, because we know scriptures even say that thy lovers seek of thy life. Why? Though you paint your face, yeah. Though you deckest yourself, don't you say that your lovers shall seek to take your life.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a point in time when this devil he gonna unleash. He don't give a fuck if you've been loyal to him.
Okay. Hey, that's even at Sirach 13. It says, if thou be for his prophet,
Yep. He will use you.
And that's what he's been doing. He's been using you against us.
Amen. Yep.
Quote Jeremiah 4:30.
Yep.
Jeremiah 4:30, verse 29. The whole city shall flee from the noise of the horsemen and bowmen. They shall go into thickets and climb up upon the rocks. Every city shall be forsaken, and not a man dwell therein. And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou clothest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, thou Though thou rentest thy face with painting,
That's
in
your makeup. All the things that women adorn themselves in these days, your outward appearance, your apparel. They try to attract people.
I'm ready to get out too.
You know, you like to do your little selfies.
Yep.
It's like the Lord is basically saying, you doing all this, what good is it? When this is getting ready to happen. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is verse 30 NLT. What are you doing, you who have been plundered? Why do you dress up in beautiful clothing and put on gold jewelry? Why do you brighten your eyes with mascara? Your primping will do you no good.
Yep.
The allies who you were lovers despise you and seek to kill you.
Ooh. Ooh-wee. And that's already starting on a low level. A lot of these interracial couples, it'd be mainly Eve being slain by her Edomite lover. There's been a lot of them kind of stories coming out. They starting to despise you, man.
Yeah, the swirl date.
Yeah. See, you got a few Edomite women that's on that Jim Crow era, you know, or post chattel slavery era, where they was
the 1800s.
yeah, where they was basically lying and getting Jake lynched on trees. You got some of that spirit coming back on some of their women, but that overall racist hatred spirit is coming on their men. The Edomite a woman, she damn near ready to start serving Jake. She's ready to lick up the dust of our feet. Like you got some Edomite women that, what they're doing right now, they're getting these tattoos that have a barcode, and it's a black ace tatted on her with some little. But it's basically like a symbol to basically signal black men. Yeah.
Hey, there was,
Edomite women. Yeah.
No, that's how I know this. But there's also another little something, like a toe ring or some shit.
Yeah.
That goes with that as well.
Yeah.
I forget how it goes, but I read it somewhere. That's how you can tell. Like they have two toe rings or some shit. I don't know.
And one woman, she had a barcode tatted on the back of her neck that said "black owned" with a king's crown on it. So you seeing where this is going?
All these tattoos, these dark tattoos, like Jake.
Yeah.
Now the white ones, they be having all the reds and greens and shit. But
Yeah.
I'm talking about the black tattoos, like Jake women have. You can tell them pandas, man.
Yeah.
You know, I think they had a thing where they were calling them pandas for a while. They like black on the inside, but they have Jake like that.
See, these women, they're ready to go, but see, they also under the pressure of their men though, because the men is like, if you bring one of them around, we probably gonna bury both of you, you know.
There was a video. Did I send it? I don't think I sent it out, but there's a video that I came across. Somebody came across, sent it to me, whatever, talking about it was like a real life Get Out.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I put that in the video too.
Yeah.
Where he went on a date with this Edomite chick,
and
he took the phone and saw the messages between her and her parents. She was basically asking them, would it be good to bring them over so that they can, because she's dating a Jake, and they wasn't too fond of that shit.
Forget the mission. Shit like, I remember the mission. Like,
Basically, hey, you can bring them over, but just know that what we gonna do.
Yeah, because it was a previous Jake that she was dealing with, and they said he went to prison for life.
Yeah, she
over
set him
something
up.
that he didn't do.
Yeah, set him up. So yeah, you got to be careful with these Edomite women too.
Yeah, that was Mississippi, but that don't mean nothing.
You know the funny thing? Hey, Eve will look at that and be like, see, this why you ain't supposed to be dealing with them snow bunnies. Y'all send niggas to prison too. It's the same shit, bro.
How many videos you seen of nigga women setting up Jake?
Yeah.
Talking about not prison, but like you out of there.
Yeah. First 48. Make it up.
It seems like y'all don't.
Yeah, they do the
so-
same exact shit.
Bro.
But they don't realize their lack of righteous dealings as a woman make us go off to other nationalities.
Yeah.
You know? So it's, I mean not to drop it all on you, but you had a lot to do with this shit, man.
Shit.
That's why that's why we always read Genesis, man. The 3rd chapter. You had a lot to do with this shit. But now that we're changing,
you're
you're
finally-
supposed to change too.
You finally being held accountable.
Yep.
You finally being held accountable because for a long time, you know, you were used to being coddled and pedestalized, told that, you know, you could do good on your own, you know, and you know, people always protected your emotions, your ego, but now you're being held accountable. And even the Lord spoke about your complacency. Rise up, you women that are at ease, hear my voice. You know, being careless. The reason why you're complacent is because you're satisfied with yourself. Because nobody told you about you. But now it's a movement where men are finally starting to tell you about yourself. And all you can really do is build from that and make the changes that needs to be made, or continue to continue in your stubborn ways and find out the hard way. Because hey, there's a transformation happening. There's a paradigm shift. Men, order is being restored. Men, hey, we're the heads. We're reclaiming our authority, our position. So you might want to get in line. You might want to read the room.
Yeah.
Or you know,
or don't.
or don't.
I want to say this. We all know, brother said, Kevin Samuels was like the godfather of the whole red pill shit, right? He pretty much had it the right way. But what people don't realize about him before he really blew up, you go back to his page. Now, I don't know if it's still up, but when he was alive, when you go to his page, years before, he was showing men how to get their shit together. Start grooming yourself. Start exercising. If you're working, you don't have a wife or a kid, you shouldn't be working less than 60 hours a week. You'd be like, damn. But if you think about it, hey, get your money up. Don't give a fuck if you're flipping burgers, but you got a corporate job, whatever. Hey, get something, get some extra. You ain't got who you got to feed. You don't got no wife and no kids. So make them changes, right? And then eventually men start making them changes. Then he's like, okay, well that's done. So what do I have to do next? Now the problem is the women now. Yep. So that's when he blew up, when he started to have to get on the women.
Because then you start to gain that leverage.
Yep.
These women can't say, oh, you broke bum, dusty.
Yep.
I don't have to respect you. You're not the breadwinner. You're not this and that. You're not responsible. Well, now men are leveling up. So now what you finna say? Now you're getting upset because men are not only leveling up, but now they're changing their options.
Yep, and on the way up, and they leveled up, and you still looking like, but you, because he on the way up. Well, these other women's like, hey, checking him out, like, hey, he actually, you see, well, you work how many jobs? I got 2.5 jobs, baby. I didn't got this much saved, and I've got my own company getting off the. They start having something about themselves, carry themselves a certain way. A reasonable woman is gonna look and be on it. But your ass is still so anti against your own. You know, now you're out there lonely. Now you're just getting the scraggly.
Yep.
And that's even about that's drying up.
And now you're finna become more vulnerable.
Yep.
Because now that you done alienated who would be your protectors.
Yep.
Now you open to these afflictions.
Yep.
What's that? 2nd Ezra 16 for virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms.
Can I read this right, leading into it?
Go ahead.
This is Proverbs 30 and 20. So this is the accountability scripture, right? It says, such is the way of an adulterous woman. You can go back to the serpent, lack of accountability, all the way up to today, right? It says, such is the way of an adulterous woman, she eateth and wipeth her mouth and said, I have done no wickedness. I don't have to make changes. I wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
But you are the problem. But because we're trying to level up, we're starting to realize it's evident that you're the problem. Who else sent the video, or where did I see it, where the woman was like, everybody is sad right now. Like, you go to Walmart, people don't get dressed up to go nowhere no more. Like, people don't want to do nothing. Like, they're going to, Jacob's already bonnets and pajamas in Walmart already anyway. But you go to the grocery store, nobody even look happy, man. They ain't even happy to get the food that they gotta get. Shit is just effed up all the way around. So it's that lack of mirth that's happening on earth. But when we turn around and look at it, like you, and this is gonna be the difference between us that believe and see this thing unfolding, that rejoicing that we have, versus the rest of the world. And that's attractive to women, by the way. That positive and hopeful outlook that you kind of walk and have, that stoicism you have in you, man, that's attractive. But we ain't gonna want you because you ain't making changes.
Yeah. Right, women are very opportunistic, man. They're opportunists. You know, they when the situation gets ugly, that's when they go back to their feminine ways. That's when they want to cater to you and follow your instruction when it's ugly out here, man. When there's trouble outside. That's what they are. When everything's good and the economy is great, they don't need a man. Because they could be nurses, they could be teachers, they could be anything they want here, right? OnlyFans. So they don't need a man. But just wait till Jacob's trouble comes around, man.
Wait till them empty shelves start hitting.
Oh yeah.
Okay? They're gonna.
You got EBT. Somebody kick your door in, or wrestle them out of you as you put them in your car.
They're gonna try to go back to that old way of being submissive.
Yep.
You know, but it's not for for the vast majority of these women. It's not gonna work because you're not gonna be able to fool men.
Nope.
All right, men are gonna they're gonna remember.
Yeah.
They're gonna remember how proud you were. All right.
He got some.
Just real quick, Ecclesiasticus 26 and 25.
Yep.
They will remember, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear Yahweh. Now you were looking for the shameful faced woman, you know.
Is it in that chapter? It's in one of the chapters where it says basically a good woman will
Yeah, it's the next verse.
is it the next one? Yeah, I got it.
The wicked, Ecclesiastes 26 and 23, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord.
That's it. So if you just keep doing what you're supposed to do, the Lord gonna make that connection when the time to make it is there. You know, we ain't gotta go out and hunt no more. We too busy on the mission. So when that time comes, I ain't never chased you in the first place. You want to be added up to what I'm doing? Get on board and I'm gonna say grab a broom, but get some tools and get work. You know, it sound that way, but y'all know what I'm saying. Like, get to work. Help me on this mission. Because the mission ain't just for me. If I care enough to add you, but you gotta work on the mission as well.
Man, I get tired of hearing when an incident happened with our women, they'll start crying and saying our men don't protect us. Our men are cowards. They don't want to protect us. They're supposed to be our protectors. Well, why should they protect you when you're being trained and advised by the enemy every day? How does that make us allies? You know? You taking in this man's ideology, and you live it to the T.
Yeah.
You look at me as something disposable.
Hey, you want me to protect you even when you're wrong.
Yeah.
It don't work that way.
Like I'm supposed to be a crash dummy
Yeah. Just
for your honor.
Yeah.
When you don't even look at me with any kind of value. You know? Nah. You're not my wife, you don't serve me, you don't respect me. No, you don't get that protection.
That's why brothers say it. And even the red pill people say it, right? They're like, hey man, I could have to have authority over you to protect you.
Exactly.
So I could, the part of the protection is to not get into trouble. It's being preventative.
If you can't take instructions from me, then I can't give protection to you.
It's that simple. It's that simple, bro.
That's just what it is.
Yep.
So if I can't tell you to shut the fuck up, and you go into a fucking 7-Eleven or something, and you talking real crazy to Teji, and he slapped fire from you, you caused that. I told you to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, I tell you to, hey, cover your ass up, put on something more respectful. I'm grown. You can't tell me what I can wear. I can wear what I want to wear. You're not God. All right. You go out there and some little YNs, they own your ass.
Hey, the brick lady.
They spank you on your ass.
Brick lady, when she got hit with that brick.
She didn't get hit with no brick.
I'm saying that scenario.
Yeah.
You look at that scenario was played out to sound like it happened. You know, and it's like, yeah. This is what you get. You out there wilding. This what comes.
But see, these scenarios I'm giving is because the fucking serpent gave you the liberty to do it.
Yeah.
He said you women can be free and equal with the men. So hey, so go out there at 2 a.m. by yourself and don't get raped. Go fight on the front lines at war. You know?
Go work on an oil rig in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Do that. Otherwise, you realizing this fucking serpent, he lied to you. You've been bamboozled. Okay? You got seduced. You got beguiled again by that same serpent.
Somebody read.
That's 2nd Edge 16. There's 2nd Edge 16 and 33. The virgins shall mourn having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn.
That ain't gonna be men, but men are gonna be getting plucked off too. But ain't nobody gonna want to connect with you to make that situation happen.
Because you're a liability.
Yep.
Women are liabilities.
Where are you adding value?
Straight up, it's just liabilities, man. A man know how to cook. A man know how to clean. You know, you women are just basically it's supposed to be helpmeets. So we don't have to cook and clean. You know, but we can do it ourselves.
Done. We'd rather not have to sit around and teach kids ABCs. But we can do it. Or we can hire somebody to do it.
Exactly.
The only thing we can't do on our own is multiply.
Birth.
That's it.
And that's right now. I can't even say, but right now, that's not always the wisest ideas.
Especially with her.
Yeah. They out of order.
Especially with ours right now.
Now I gotta go through baby mama drama because I want to have a family. It ain't worth it no more. It's a liability.
Yeah, we just need you for sex, really. You know, to be fruitful and multiply. You know, because we can cook and clean, we can do all that shit.
Better than you.
Yeah, better. The best cooks are men.
Hey, the top chefs, you see them. You look right here on the strip, all these celebrity chefs. How many more men chefs than women chefs out there?
Yeah, I was gonna say by the standard of great chefs, they call it Michelin stars, and it's more men with Michelin stars than women. That's just the truth, man.
And that's crazy because women, they spend more time in the kitchen than the men do.
Hey, you know them nails that women go, get on their fingers and shit. Men created that. I forgot what the dude's name, but he created the press-on nails, acrylic nails and shit. Yeah.
Real quick. I got Sirach 26 and 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
This is the problem. This is simple instruction. This is all men actually want. Stop asking other women what men want.
Right.
Ask a man.
All you gotta do is listen.
But that's the first problem, because that's all a man gonna tell you to do is listen. Anyway, listen and then go execute what all the instructions I'm giving you.
Wait a minute.
And we're not complicated creatures.
Nah.
We don't have to go through the shit we got to go through to appease you. You don't have to do half of that to appease a man.
Like you said, be simple. When a man explains to you what he wants, he means what he's saying. There's no in betweens. It's just like the opposite. When a woman tell you what she wants this, that.
But like this, and on this occasion,
this much of it, but I only want it on this day, and you know, men tell you, look, this is what you want, and this is the thing that's going to separate the liabilities from the assets.
Could I say something before you read that? Because this is vital for us men. We got to stop being so concerned about how they feel about how we tell them what we want. You know, it's important. Because we're like, if I say it this way, if you start thinking like that, you fuck it up already. You're going to say something wrong, and she ain't going to get the point. And some of them are ready to listen to find exact instructions, and you're going to say it wrong, thinking about they going to not like you or what. Just say it, bro.
To land back off of that, hey, the apostles and elders have went into that word nice, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, look up the word. Hey, one of you brothers grab the word nice in the online Edom, so we could bring it out. So like, go ahead, bro.
That's how mind blowing.
Right, I'll read verse 15 real quick. It says, a shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued.
She's satisfied with her role. She's satisfied with it. Because when the way, I'm saying it in another way, which I'm going to pick up the scripture. The scripture goes, when a man's ways please the Lord, so when a woman's ways please the Lord, please her man.
Yeah, because he's the head of her.
Right. Good come. How does the scripture with the man's way please the Lord, even enemies should be at peace? So how much more peace you gonna have in your house with your husband and in the house, and then when you go out, if she's acting the right way, if he's acting the right way to the Lord, she's acting the right way with him. These things just go hand in hand. This is meant to be put together. So when you see how this works, it works in a beautiful way, and nobody's worried about nothing else. You don't have all these little worries and little shit that you got to deal with. We need to go. We don't have conversations. Things ain't always gonna line up. Some emotions is gonna get involved somewhere here and there. But you still got to remain that I got to make the decision according to the bigger picture.
Not the emotion, right?
Not the emotion.
Same way that the Heavenly Father, us as His woman, He expects us. Yeah, we may not like the situation we're in, but we got to deal with it. We got to go through whatever He put us in. When it says a continent mind, meaning you have restraint, you have control over your mind. Have some discipline. You know, women, we already know women are the weaker vessel. They're emotional. It's always, I feel, I think, and this and that. You don't have to always say which we're not going to get that to the kingdom, right. But just to give that instruction of how to be an asset type of woman. You know, you don't always have to tell me what you feel and what you think and your emotions. Just be quiet.
A woman that's an asset is never lazy. You can pluck your whole household down just by being lazy, because you're taking in and receiving, and you're not giving no type of output. You're not contributing, even if it's not it doesn't have to be monetarily. But if you're just in a household and you're causing distress, you're not taking care of business, you're not making sure the children are straight, that's going to lead to the deterioration of the infrastructure of your family. Because it starts with the woman. The woman she holds a role, a responsibility. You tend to the children in the household while he tend to everything else. But if you lazy, like you had one chick, and I had to do a response to it. This chick had the nerve to say, "How the hell do you men go to work and then go work out at the gym?"
Bro,
When I heard that shit, I was like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Yeah, it was 2 of them.
It was 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you're doing. Like you're not capable of being a productive citizen of society. You're that much of a lazy person and leeching off of society and being comfortable that you'll even ask such a question.
And they not taking baths, bro.
Yeah.
Baths take time, bro. And they're not taking baths. Where is this time going?
And you eating damn shrimp and lobster all day.
What are you doing with all your time if you're not working out, not taking baths? You got good one?
They should do the Proverbs 30 above Rubens challenge for the women. See if they can do that.
It's a Proverbs 30.
Above Rubens. Now they wake up early and I'm like, I can't do that.
Well, you have these women that when they was all talking about the 100 men versus gorilla. Men came back with 100 women versus accountability. 100 women versus marriage. 100 women versus apology.
Yeah, King Solomon already did that. He already did that project.
Yeah.
You know, Ecclesiastes 7.
Yeah.
You know, out of 1,000 women, he didn't find none righteous.
Not one.
So King Solomon already did that. Did that that scientific experiment.
I don't want to get rid of
Yeah, man.
I got a quick precept because my brother said what he said. Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
Come on, man.
I gotta read this.
These women, they be destroying their own situations, man. And sometimes they be set up good.
Bro.
Husband making good money, got children, got a nice
Kevin Samuels
home,
was calling a
family.
lot of them women out.
And these chicks, man, they just
What happened with
Bro.
the first husband? What happened? Well,
He cheated on me.
Always them.
they don't even have to do nothing wrong. It's pretty much her.
They want to
Yeah.
go see the other side of it. That the grass is greener, then they find out it's synthetic.
Hey, and it's not always what a woman does that can ruin her household. A lot of times it's things that she don't do. I seen a video. This dude came home from work and he just worked a 12-hour shift. He like, man, I just worked a 12-hour shift. You can't at least clean up the damn house. She like, who the fuck you think you talking to? I ain't cleaning up shit. This is my house. He like, I pay all the bills. And she like, I don't give a fuck. You know, it's like, come on, man. Why are you here?
That's the last thing he wanted to come in and deal with after a 12-hour shift. The argument on top of the house now. What did you do spending your time? Like,
Yeah. That's why I don't. Some of you men, y'all deserve that shit.
wicked man's giving the woman's giving the portion to a wicked man. Yeah.
You come home from a hard day work, and she's actually on your head because you didn't bring her back nothing to eat. She didn't have nothing hot ready for you. She's cussing you out because you didn't bring her nothing back. I don't feel for none of you men that got to go through that. You should have known. It's too late in the game.
Hey, you can't eat out. At these prices, you can't eat out like that. You gotta cook.
It's too late in the game, man. It's so much going on. I mean, so much, like you're not paying attention. You know,
Fox got a hold of him, bro.
it's ridiculous.
I gotta read this. This is Sirach 26.
And that's why the Lord said, "And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." We free from all that shit, man. This truth is the best place to be. Is in a good. Hey, man, call Lord Yahweh Shem outside. We in a very blessed position, man, to have this. Hey, that's why the wisdom is referred to as riches in the scriptures, man. This is the real riches right here. This will alleviate you of these type of problems, man.
Because you can discern the situation, right?
Yeah.
This is This is Sirach 26, verse 13. It's in the GNT. We read it, but I'm gonna read it in the GNT and read a little more. It says, "Hey, bro, this whole thing go."
Go.
It says, "A gracious wife is her husband's delight. Her abilities make him a stronger man. A wife who doesn't talk too much is a gift from the Lord."
Yeah, kind, because I think, does it say fully in that chapter, the woman that talketh a lot is like a feet unto the age, the climbing of a sandy hill?
That's the other chapter.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a loud talking with
Yeah,
somebody.
you doing all that talking and you helping to deteriorate his health.
Yeah. That's what a lot of men.
That
Which is
man-
your protection.
So that so you gonna lead him to an early grave, and now where does that leave you in the family? Families go to shambles when the fathers die.
Yep.
Because a woman don't know how to maintain that control and instruction, man.
I got a movie. I always got a movie. In the movie, which if y'all ain't seen this movie, just a good movie anyway. American History X. You guys seen that movie, American History X? About the dude who played the white supremacist, went to jail or whatever. Anyway, so how did that happen? The dad died. The mom tried to get a boyfriend. It was an Amalekite boyfriend, right? And then he was, because his dad was on that supremacist shit, the son became on that, right? So the dad died, they were still in the house, the son was working, he was holding it down. Then the son goes to jail trying to protect the house. I don't even do all the details out. By the time he get out of jail, they're in a 2-bedroom apartment. 3 people live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Shit is all fucked up.
See?
That's how, like that example's in the movie. And now that they're in that apartment, guess who lived next door and who lived right around him? Jake, who he hated. So now he's, to watch the movie is a good movie the way they put it together, but it show you, man, in little details, that's how it happened. You get rid of that man, and shit crumbles, man.
Yeah. What does that say in Sirach 3?
Household.
About the curse
Sirach
of the
3.
mother and then the blessing of the father.
Sirach 39. For the blessing of the father established the houses of the children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundation.
Hey, what's the 2 main blessings of, you say blessings?
The curse of the mother.
The blessings of the father. What's the 2 biggest blessings the father has for the household? His strength and his wisdom. Those are the 2 things that you can't find in any other dynamic in a family structure without a man, which are huge. Okay? So that's why the man is so important. That's why in this ministry it's of men, and we're building men up in the spirit of the Heavenly Father, the Creator that wanted us to be on a higher level.
And
So when we
like
get
that scripture
to new bodies,
like that scripture in Sirach, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, because he will leave somebody behind that's like himself.
left himself an avenger. Yep. One that avenge his adversaries and will find kindness to his friends.
But if you leave it just to the mama, she not gonna show him, those things that.
Hey, if she get close to him, she gonna be sleeping with him.
Hey, bro.
Friends. Hey, am I wrong? But everybody just about it. It's true.
And the mother, once that father is going out that household, the mother reverts into childish teenage ways, man. And because her head is gone. Her foundation is uprooted in a sense. So.
Was there more? Well,
That's it.
Let me get back on this. With verse 14, to like 26:14, it says, "A wife who doesn't talk much is a gift from the Lord. Such restraint is admirable beyond words. A modest wife has endless charm." Because it's not about the dolling up of things, the cosmetics of things. I have to say it that way. When you know what the word cosmetic goes into, it's like a covering up. Yep. It ain't about that. Because you ain't wearing them fucking cumbrellas and all that goddamn makeup, I can see that you got pretty shaped eyes, that your eyes are nice chestnut brown or whatever, But you see the natural qualities in her, naturally, right? And then her spirit shines a little bit more also, which just makes it even better, right? It says, it is a quality too precious to measure. The beauty of a good wife in her well-kept home is like the noonday sun shining in the Lord's sky. Everything brother was saying, you read the GNT, right? It says, her beautiful face and attractive figure, the gem, right, are as lovely as the light from the sacred lampstand in the temple.
Damn. Wow.
Brother said it, that attraction does have to be there. Just because you think you thick, don't mean that's what we see. Don't mean that's necessarily what you consider thick is what we like. Yeah, damn girl, you thick. In them jeans, hey, we thinking what about without them jeans? Anyway, it says, and it's
But
like
you also don't want a woman that's
real
sickly.
Anorexic, we ain't for that either.
Never hated my shit.
Yeah, we want healthy, man. And it's gonna say it though. It's actually about to say it right now. I'll read up 17 again. Her beautiful face and attractive figure are as lovely as the light from the sacred lampstand in the temple. And a woman is always prettier when she's happy. If she's all mad and disappointed and frustrated and all that, you can read it and it just ain't attractive to you. But if she's smiling and laughing and happy, now it ain't for us to be clowning and juggling and shit trying to make you feel good, but it is for you to appreciate what you got. When you look around at your children and you smile, hey, that turns the man on. You see your face right there. When you look at your man and your whole eyebrows go down and it's bad, the man feels and reads that. But when your eyes light up when you see him, hey, a man feels and connects to that also.
Yeah, an angry woman. You can see the demons festering on them. That shit is that's a complete turn on. Like, I remember one time I was out with I had some friends back in the world or whatever. And we used to go to the college dorm and kick it, and we had females around. And this one chick, she came through. We was in the dorms, and when I first seen her, she was like a chocolate skinned chick. She had a figure on her. She was right. But it was the way she came in there. She came in slamming doors, and she sounded like she probably just got into a big argument or something happened. So when she came up in there, I was like, if she came in here with the wrong fucking energy, no. I hope she don't try to talk to me.
Looks don't mean nothing when you get.
And sure enough, like a few hours later, they coming back and telling me she wanna give you her number. I'm like, nope. She came in too fucking wrong, bro. I already see what I would have to deal with if I got her number and dealt with her, man. Hell no. Hell no.
Can't ignore them first impressions.
She made a horrible first impression. I said no. I was in the world. I'm like 18, 19 at the time. You know? Bro. I said no. I didn't give a fuck how voluptuous she was. I didn't care about none of that.
I got another quick one just tied in. In the world, I met this chick. I'll pull up on her car. What's up, girl? That'll be cool and shit. So I looked at her car. It was dirty off. Like, this ain't gonna work. I'm definitely not calling you. Your car ain't even clean. Like, this ain't gonna work out. Yeah. Like, what does it say about you? Look at it like that.
Yeah, because the scriptures say the beauty of a woman, that's the glory of a man.
Yep.
You know, the scriptures say a beautiful woman cheereth the countenance.
Yep.
You know, so men they love nothing better than a beautiful woman. But when you throw it off with that bad energy,
lazy spirit,
yeah, man.
Yep. It don't work.
You women gonna learn that it's more than just your outward appearance.
Yep.
Men are overlooking your outward appearance at this point. It's about if you can be an asset, a valuable asset. You know, because the clock is ticking right now.
Yeah.
Jacob Trouble is right around the corner. This is the worst time to not be up under a man. This is the worst time going into Jacob's trouble. It's better to hear this kind of rebuke and to get yourself right, get your mind right, than to carry on with your stubbornness.
It's bad enough if you a female and you 18, 25 and you proud. If you 35, 40, 50 proud, you not gonna last.
Or you post walls, you have no choice but to be humble.
But they still be proud. They be the most proud. Biblical
But
fathers.
those are the ones because they figure they've been established
Yep.
because they done had a career, they're making some decent money so they can live on their own. So them ones they're not gonna change. Those women, they hit the wall already. They already know what time it is. That's why you'll have a Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yep.
She don't mind letting the YNs, flip her. You know, because she realized
Better than that.
that's better than nothing. Just as long as in her mind, or at least I'm desirable. Yeah, you desirable enough to get hit a couple times, but after that,
So
you still,
that post clarity.
Yeah,
yeah,
that her womb
She ain't
can't
gonna
bear
be-
children.
yeah.
She too old.
In the long run, you still not gonna be happy. You're gonna be depressed.
Because
Okay.
usually children supposed to bring the woman happiness.
Yeah,
You know, as being a mother.
because that's your purpose.
Yeah.
Let me hit this last verse, right? 17 or 18, but 17 from context. It says, her beautiful face and attractive figure are as lovely as the light from the sacred lampstand in the temple. One of the best workouts is cleaning up, honestly. And it's like gold, and like it's
Seeing
gold.
her bend over the table and doing this, looking at her from an angle like, yeah, look at
As
her.
soon as she finished that up,
Yeah.
snaps her in the room, man.
Yeah. She doing this and she wiping down something. And,
Yeah, I need a shower. Or you don't need a shower.
you know what I
You
mean?
know, like that, that's supposed to, that dynamic is set up, man, where it's supposed to be that way, yeah. And, hey, who said it, man? There was a comedian, I can't think of, he was like, man, seeing you walk down the street in the hills, he was like, seeing you make that sandwich, though. You know what I mean? Like, seeing you,
She in there doing this to the door and shit.
seeing you wipe down that countertop, though, turn me on. It was like, it says, and like its gold shaft set on a silver base are her shapely legs and strong ankles. So you need that workout. Now, even if you can't go to the gym, trust me, man, a woman that takes care of her house, that work, it's work.
Hey, not going to the gym is an excuse, all right? You can work out in your living room, man.
Yeah.
You can put on a YouTube video of home workouts and knock that out. Knock that 30 minutes, an hour out, man. There's no excuse for it. You on your phone scrolling, look up some exercises, man.
And all that. And the brother mentioned Proverbs 30 on it, right? Also, cut off all that processed bullshit, man. Stop feeding. I'm tired of going.
Takeout, fast food.
I'm tired of take out fast food pictures, and I'm definitely tired of seeing all these places. I cook. Yeah, but you cooking death. You got fucking cream and fucking cheese all over everything on the plate. Cream, cheese, and meat and salt is all over this plate. Where are the bitters and the vegetables at? Start doing all this, and your health is going to turn around. But also your man's health is going to turn around as well. There's a Chris Rock, I always bring this quote up, right? He said, "You ain't got a man. I guarantee you, you put a pot on the stove every day at 5 o'clock, a man gonna eventually show up to that pot. If you disciplined enough to put a pot on the stove every day by 5 o'clock, where that scent is going through the house or the neighborhood,
Hey.
a man, and you've been in the grocery, you gonna run into somebody.
And how did Abigail win David over?
Yep.
King David.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It was womanly as hell how she did it.
She basically shared things with livestock, gave them clusters of
Man,
grapes.
she brought a love basket to David.
Exactly.
Man. She hooked it up.
That's pretty much-
Cakes,
Fruits, nuts,
fruits, dates.
Yep.
Like she hooked it up for him, man.
Hooked them up.
When he saw that, he was like, "Yeah, I can."
Yeah, it essentially appeased his wrath.
Because he was coming to hurt shit.
Yeah.
He was coming to spill something, you know. So, hey, that's a perfect example, man. That's all a man want, and that was a good first impression. You know what I mean?
Everybody mind up here.
Thinking being, hey, one of the greatest traits of women is being considerate of others. I used to say, man, I don't want to date a woman that don't have children, man, because I can't deal with that selfish nature. You don't know what it's like to sacrifice and have to think about others before. But now we even see even some mothers are still more selfish with kids than without. When is it going to be my turn? I can take care of kids, but I want another kid. Your job is to nurture and take care of things. Should be awesome.
Was it I think the woman that gave the water to the camels and to the servant, was that Rebecca?
Rachel.
Rachel.
Was it?
No, because he was looking for, I think, was it
Rebecca.
Isaac?
It was
Isaac? It was
for Isaac.
From that well.
from that well. And
Yeah, that was
that's-
Rebecca.
Yeah, it was Rebecca, right? That's how Isaac was able to get his wife, because she served the servant. Was like, oh man, okay, she
She
served.
put her veil on,
Yep.
went over there and,
Yep.
and took the, you know,
Even gave the camels water and all that.
fed the camels water. Yeah.
Servitude right there, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
See, that's that right there, man. You know, that triggers our biology. You know what I mean?
Stop asking women how to appease men, and ask the men that the type of man you want.
Correct.
You got it, bro.
See, like the reason why these men they kind of bug out when they go overseas, and they see how the women treat them, is they don't. It's not the norm. It's not the common thing here in the West. The women, they actually it's preserved that tradition, being traditional, being the traditional woman, being submissive and serving. Men are not used to that over here, because the women over here on some I'm a boss bitch, I could, you know, I don't need you. Over there they serve you like they need you, you know. So that's the reason why the men are like, shit, I might as well just be over there then. Passport bros, man. Even though you got to be careful with that shit.
I was gonna say.
You know?
It can go bad. You go over there and you get robbed and all kinds. Hey,
Hey.
got an article about 21 countries that you can't go to.
Oh yeah. See, basically, what it all boils down to is we need the kingdom.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. Once we get the kingdom, man, and everything is transitioned, you know, to a new heaven and a new earth, we ain't gonna have none of these worries, man. We ain't gotta go cross country to get a suitable wife. Everything is gonna
brought to us.
Come. You know, that's basically what it boils down to. We can't have, we're not gonna have anything pure on this side, no matter where we go. It's just that's not what it is right now. That's why we have to endure, you know, go through that straight gate, so that we can, you know, get the wide, so that we can, you know, get the kingdom. That's when everything is gonna be what it's supposed to be.
You tapped into something last night, in a sense, we talked about it. So what's the contrast of what you're saying? So what is pure on this side? There's only one thing pure on this side. It's the truth. It's truth. It's wisdom. And how to apply it. That's the only pure thing you got. That's why this, man, there's nothing more to see. You ask the type of women you like. You start seeing what they see. That the ones understand. Women that have a husband already, you might be auntie or mama or whoever, you know, somebody, and you find out, hey, when a man is focused on his mission, that turns a woman on. When he's out there focused on it and his mission is worth something that he can bring back to the house, that turns them on. Yeah,
a lot of
the
women,
ones that you would want. Right.
A lot of women, they see a man on his purpose and he's focused. It drives them away, because they used to having men that they can get their way with. You know, they can
change
get out
away and give them away.
Yes. They you know, a lot of women, they cleave to weak men that they can, you know, manipulate.
Where his focus is on her.
Yep. That's what the first fuck up is that.
Happy wife, happy life.
Man, these women they don't even know what they want, man.
They don't.
You could be a blue collar, keep the woman at home, because that's the thing, you know, they want a blue collar man, so they can stay at home and flex on other women that they're able to do that, and then their men make so much money. You know, they can take trips, and they even then that's still not enough. That's still not enough. Because that's the only way. That's the only way that these modern women will somewhat submit to a man. Is if he pays all the bills, he takes care of her, and they still have extra money for her to be comfortable and get her shit done. That's the only way she'll be able to submit to you a little bit. You know?
Yeah.
But even that's not enough.
It's not.
It's not enough. So basically, like the brother said, this place gotta go, and we gotta get the kingdom, man.
That's it.
Women need a reset. Men need a reset. There's just no fixing this.
So this is where I was going.
And let's end it on that note too. The brother's last precept.
And we're hitting we're getting the reset through the wisdom of the scriptures.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so basically he's talking about being a nice guy, you know, taking care of the woman. The etymology of nice is foolish, ignorant, frivolous, senseless, careless, clumsy, weak, poor, needy, simple, stupid, foolish, ignorant, and unaware. Literally not knowing, from the Latin root nisus.
Naive, basically.
Want a nice guy.
It's the reason nice guys finish last.
Yeah.
See, and going back to King David and Abigail, I bet you, even though, because you could see the duality effect where feminine energy was shown in the midst of masculine energy. She came and was in a servitude, humble position to appease his anger, his wrath, and he was exuding straight up masculine energy. He was on some I'm ready to press shit.
Yep.
So when those two energies met, that was the perfect dynamic, and it balanced it out, and he took that. You know? Yeah, man. So that's why, and that's when things get back to normal. That's how it's gonna be. Women are gonna go back to being in their feminine nature, and the men are gonna go in their masculine frame. All right, because that's how the Lord designed it. All right, the kingdom of heaven is basically the Lord restoring back to immortality and righteousness. All right. So that was it on that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we got Isaiah 3:12.
Well, yeah, we know that women rule over them, and that's what caused a long line effect of that dynamic change, where men start to take on their feminine energy. You're not supposed to. A man is not supposed to be ruled over by a woman. You nurture for a specific period of time from your mother, and then after that, you detach yourself. Now you up under your father and men. Okay?
Or we all die.
Through her, we all die, man. So hey, with that, we're gonna give all praise, all glory, and honor to Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh.
Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone who rule well, peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. We're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.